Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gambit. It's Monday. That means it's time for Monday Night Raw. We'll also keep you involved in some other sports that are going on. I'm going to be watching Rampage as well from Friday because I need to catch up on AEW. But anyway, that's Letha. I'm Travis, and it's Monday. So hopefully your week has got started in the correct way.
In the correct way. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Hopefully on Veterans Day, if you were a vet, you went and got some free food or were thanked by somebody for your services and sacrifices that you gave for our country. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you. They did a lot of veteran stuff over the weekend, especially yesterday during all the football. They did have a lot of veterans and being on a lot of bases and stuff, which is fantastic. And we do have people in our chat tonight.
What?
We have
Roll call.
Sophie. We have Sophie out there. Robert with us. Harley's there tonight. Janelle says hi. Hey, Janelle. Good to see you tonight for a minute.
Governors.
Quentin Mitchell's with us. And Walter. Hey, guys. How are you doing? Hopefully everybody got a good start to their week this week. Everybody ready for Thanksgiving? If you do celebrate it here in a couple weeks, it's happening. It's just right around the corner.
Yeah, it is. Literally a week and a half away.
It is.
Week and a few days.
Yep.
Like 4. Also, there's pay-per-view this weekend and the weekend after. So if you're into sports, there's going to be plenty of it, especially if you're into wrestling sports.
Yep, because it will be wrestling pay-per-views.
Yeah, and then there's going to be the Thursday night game, I think, which is normal for that. And then they're going to do a Friday game for Amazon. It's going to be the Dolphins and the Jets if you're into the Dolphins. Or Dolphin-safe tuna or anything.
We're going to have the regular teams they usually have on Thanksgiving on the regular stations, though,
yes,
huh?
Good for them. Would do the Detroit will play, and I don't remember the other team that plays maybe the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think it's the Cowboys.
But Detroit always plays.
Let's see. Sophie said, hi. How was everyone's weekend? And Robert said, hey, what's up? My good people. My day has been great. It's going to get better watching some Monday Night Raw. Hell yeah. Harley says, what's up, everybody? Sophie says, I thought of something. If the rumors are true and Raw does leave the USA Network, that could be a big blow to that network.
Yeah, but they got SmackDown.
But they got SmackDown.
It'd just be a
switch? Just a shorter show? Better? I don't know.
I'll probably lengthen it.
So it says the WWE announced tribute to the troops is happening on December 8th on Fox at 8 p.m. So it will be a special episode of SmackDown that night.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Sophie also says, I heard this past weekend that Tony Khan announced a new tournament that starts the night before Thanksgiving.
Wow. That's awesome.
That sounds like something stupid he would do.
Our dog is going to get his hair cut that day.
Nice.
So that's a very important day to have.
It is very important. Janelle said hi, and so says, do you see them giving us Drew versus Seth too at some point?
Drew and Seth too. Of course. As long as he stays around.
Looks like they're going to start tonight's show out with Cody Rhodes.
Of course they are.
Hey, Travis. Hey, Daphne. Raw tonight. What? Good matches. Quentin says the Patriarchy. That's the name of Christian Cage's faction. Okay. Cool. So he says today marks 18 years since Eddie Guerrero died. Walter says Randy Orton will be back at Survivor Series War Games. Heard some rumors about that as well.
I heard that, but I also heard that it's defunct. So
yeah,
it's going to be CM Punk. We all know it.
Exactly. Picola's like, hiya, Gab Gang. Hi, Picola. How are you doing? Did you get some free food Saturday?
I heard they were going to CGI Andre the Giant in it.
Nice. They should.
For the people at home.
Sophie says Dana White hinted that we could get UFC WWE crossover. Walter says my weekend was good. Watched college football Saturday. My tennis clinic was canceled. It rained. Aw, bummer, man. Walter says Cody Rhodes time. Paul Massey Jr. in the chat. Hey, Paul. Tonight is going to be great. Rest in peace, Eddie. Sophie says Becky Lynch is rumored to be part of Bianca's team at War Games. Putting all the big ladies together so they can lose. Together.
I would assume they can't lose that.
I don't know. They've made them that they're all weak and
Bailey and the
can't do shit. So
unless they get rid of Bailey, Bailey could also go over to that team.
I don't know.
And then Sasha shows up, and then it is the 4 horsewomen.
They welcomed her with open arms and
the 4 horsewomen
stuff. So I don't know.
Shotzi Blackheart or whatever her name was. What's her name? Shotzi Blackheart.
Shotzi, yeah, Blackheart. Yes, we got Shotzi Blackheart. Then it was just Shotzi.
Yeah, they got rid of Blackheart. because it sounded so satanic.
Walter says AJ Styles is back, but WWE didn't show him on TV.
AJ.
Paul says Sasha needs to come back to WWE, and Picola says, yeah, went up to BJ's brew house for some baked chicken thighs and a great banana pudding. There you go. Sounds like good. And beer, of course. Yes, of course. Sophie says Damage Control is now all Japanese women and Bailey, and Picola says the beer part. And Chris says, hey, Travis and D. Hey, Chris, good to see you tonight. How was your weekend? Did you enjoy the football on Sunday?
Me?
No,
Or just people?
Chris.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Sophie says it looks like Dakota Kai could be the new leader of Damage Control. Well, you know, they could always put her as the leader. She talks not good, but that's all right.
She talks better than the other ones.
Yeah.
Maybe not Bailey, but...
Oh, Travis Pinkston is in the chat. Hey, Pinkston. How's it going, man? As if.
He's going to do it. His tag team partner's Jey Uso.
What's he going to do with him?
Tag with him?
Oh.
They're going to be a 2-time tag team champion.
Oh. They're just going to go back and forth.
Well, since there's only 3 teams, it's very easy to do. There's not 3 teams, there's 2.
Match beyond War Games. Yeah. Walter says Wednesday is bingo. I should win and be here Wednesday 8 p.m. for AEW. I'm still in chat until 9 my time. So he says Sasha did say in 24 she will be in a wrestling company. Walter says, hey, Cat Leopold.
Oh, Cat.
Paul says, actually, Jay will be a 3-time tag team champion. Yeah, just not with Cody, right?
Jay's been more than 3. It's won like 8. With the Udos. The Usos.
The Usos?
Uso Penitentiary. I see you looking at me. Shaking that bang. Shaking that bang.
He doesn't look impressed.
He likes when I rap like that.
Does he? Says as Logan Paul shout out Dom.
Did you see him at the UFC pay-per-view? He's shouted out Rey Mysterio. It was pretty funny. Shout out Rey Mysterio.
That's funny.
On his cell phone, he said it.
That's funny. So says Jay is like an 8-time tag team champion, 7 with his brother.
So many times.
Lots of times, winners, all the wins.
He needs to go to AEW and win those trios. That's the only way that'll complete it.
It's true.
Who would he team with?
I don't know. If he only went by himself?
Orange Cassidy and
Hook?
Darby?
Well, Hook's with Orange Cassidy right now. Put those 3 together.
I didn't say it was happening today. This is a fantasy booking, not
Oh, my bad.
real life today stuff.
Ric Flair.
Ooh. Rick and Sting.
Sophie says Jay has read that. Paul says, good luck with your bingo. Yeah, for sure to Walter.
And Bingo was his name.
He usually has pretty good luck. Every once in a while, it's not good. So he says, I wonder who the 5th men for both these teams is going to be. I don't know. Is that what they're doing? Is showing the War Games teams?
It's going to be Drew McIntyre for the other team, and it's going to be Andre the Giant for this team. Already said that. CGI'd.
Ah.
So, like, people there live aren't going to see it. They're going to be like...
So, question. Why on
wrestling
earth,
the
if
air?
you were the World Heavyweight Champion, would you be in a Survivor Series?
Because they're not doing singles matches.
I know, but still.
It happens every year. We saw it last year with Roman.
Yeah, I know. It's just weird, I guess.
Or was that last year?
Pickle says the answer would be Garcia and Action Andretti. Woo!
Damn.
That's who Jay would be with. Okay. That probably makes way more sense.
I liked Ric Flair better. You're raining on my parade. He hates legends. Somebody hates legends.
Picola.
Picola hates legends.
I know that there's somebody in here who always has Vindicator, who thinks they're swindlers. And yet,
Not Rick.
That is the only wrestling program he now watches is the swindling one, which is funny to me. And I feel like it goes against Vindicator's morals.
Whoa.
So it says Kevin Owens is suspended from SmackDown. Why though?
He touched somebody.
Not at the side there.
He didn't touch him at ringside though. That's the part
way up there.
I don't understand. Like, where's the rules? Where's their boundaries?
Yeah. Where's the rules and boundaries? Boundaries. Gotta respect boundaries, people.
And he was just sticking up for...
I think we all need to get Seth Rollins' sunglasses and just wear them constantly.
Do it. There's some glasses.
No, I mean his.
Well, we don't know what he's going to wear. They have some ugly-ass glasses on some sites, though, you can get. But might as well just buy them all.
I mean, they just have to cover half your face. It's fine.
I think I have some welding
Could you imagine
goggles.
if I put those on?
I have a welding shield.
Like, my whole face, this part of my face would be gone because the glasses would probably come clear down to here.
I have a welding shield. That covers your whole face.
Pico's like, blasphemy. Fine, make it Arn Anderson and Jake Roberts. Pico says,
Whoa!
I'm truly not anti-legend.
It's Judgment Day!
Well, I just figured if they were going to have Jake come over to AEW to win the Trios Champion, they'd have to throw legends in there for him to be with. That's why I said old people. Sophie says Roman only had 11 matches this year. Last year he had 52. Well,
Nice.
that loser.
And I bet you he made more money this year.
What a loser face.
That's awesome for him.
All you guys are like, oh my god, it's so amazing that he doesn't do anything with his title. You guys don't complain about not seeing that bitch on TV. He doesn't do anything with his title.
Well, people complain about everything, so.
Paul says, well, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory started problems that got him suspended. Yeah, it's their fault.
Yeah, they threw something at the announcer, which is just kind of mean.
Well, they poured water all over Kevin, and then they threw the cup at the other Kevin. Mm-hmm. So he had to, he had to defend his honor.
He's like, I can't have him doing that. So, yeah. He didn't care what happened to himself.
Feels like, dang, that's 12 more matches than you, Sophie. So it says they keep hinting that we might get Seth versus Cody 4. Yeah, probably will happen because they're, going together with Survivor Series.
I hope we don't see that match. Sorry, I don't want to see that at all. And the only reason is because that means that they've given up on Cody going after Roman.
Yeah. People says, is there more narrative of MJF not defending his title more than Roman's lack of appearances? I have no idea.
They stole the title from MJF. Can you imagine somebody stealing the title from Roman?
Well, not only that, but it's still in the title, and then he doesn't get it back.
Every time that he comes out to get it?
Yeah.
He's just wussy.
Either that or they're like, well, you wanted it, but we're going to write the storyline to be stupid. And how you'd be okay with that? I'd be so fucking mad.
Well, they at some point they're gonna go like, look, you can be champion on paper, but we've got to move the title around. So what we're gonna do is
pretend that you don't have it.
I mean, I hope that White beats him. But the only problem with that is then the Wardlow feud kind of doesn't make any sense. And I want Wardlow to be champion at least for a minute. He doesn't have to be champion forever because he doesn't have what it takes as of right now.
Right.
He could have. But they screwed him up. They
screwed up. They did that with a lot of them.
And you can't just put the title on him now because now it's like, wait, what?
Sophie says MJF is the executive producer of that Iron Claw movie that is coming out a couple of days before Christmas.
Definitely looking forward to that. Zac Efron.
Picola says because MJF should just vacate the ROH tag titles. Sophie says imagine if they do the whole steal the championship from Roman. I don't think they would do him that way.
Well, they're not going to do it now for sure because of the MJF storyline. They're not going to copy AEW. But they could at some point. Not from Roman, though. Another storyline down the road. In our lifetime, we will see it happen. They had a chance to do it with the briefcase. They dropped the ball on that.
Nobody wants to hear you talk, dum-dum. Or dum-dum.
Against each other.
Gum for the dum-dum.
Against each other.
Was that his Canadian coming out?
Yeah, he couldn't help but be Canadian for a second.
Oh, that's sad. His mouth flopped around with his floppy head. So just imagine if they do. Oh, I read that. Nobody said anything more. Guess what? Survivor Series. It's War Games,
Guess
bitches.
what?
Guess what?
Brittany, bitch.
That's right. That too. Two rings, one cage. Piccolo says someone said the devil and the people behind the mask are in sync promoting the new Trolls movie. Seen it on Reddit. You know, Piccolo, that sounds about right because there was just a Trolls commercial up on the NBA stuff. So I would not be surprised if NSYNC was doing that. I mean, that seems like something that Justin Timberlake would definitely be a part of. And the only reason why I know he's part of NSYNC is because Travis had a conversation about this yesterday.
Yeah, he's not a Backstreet Boy. He's not Nick Lachey. How do I know who Nick Lachey is? Because he was boning what's-her-name Simpson in the 90s.
So if it says, remember the whole Bloodline Judgment Day partnership that they had most of the summer? I thought that would lead into War Games match.
Yeah. JD's the leader.
No, Rhea's their leader.
Did he just say I'm their leader?
He's the leader.
Yeet.
Oh, Jesus. I'm pretty sure Rhea's the leader, but hey, you guys pretend. After the part that you talk constantly. So it says CM Punk's theme song was played at a hockey game last night. You know, it's not his theme song. It really is a song. If that makes sense. People says the devil part or the Timberlake part. The Timberlake part. That he is in sync.
Bye, bye, bye.
I would not be surprised if Justin Timberlake was the devil, though.
Justin's nice.
That's probably why he's the devil.
The devil is, what's his name?
Christopher Walken?
Christopher
No.
Walken.
No.
He floats in rooms.
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
That's
I've
just
heard
somebody
it.
being weird. He's probably just a vampire. It's different. Chris says, Mammy. Priest said he's the leader. He's going to get in so much trouble. He's probably going to get hit with a shoe later.
Look at Finn staring at him with puppy eyes. He loves him. See?
He's
See the
looking
love?
at him like, what the fuck you mean
See
you're the
love?
leader?
See all the love? See how much love there is?
Like, you're not the leader of me. Rhea's going to be so mad at you. She's going to take a chancla and just slap the fucking shit out of your ass.
She's going to accent all over you.
Oh, God, she's going to accent on him?
All over him.
Oh, God, no, not the accent!
Put another shrimp on the barbie. Go chase great white sharks and crocodile. And he's going to be like...
He's like, I can accent too, you know. Somebody says Damian Priest could cash in during the War Games match. That would be historic. And Piccolo says, Finn, kiss already. That's true. It's either that or him and JD kiss. One or the other. Nah. A disappointment. So if it says that Judgment Day had no leaders, that is why they kicked Edge out in the first place last year.
Yeah, they don't have any leaders, except for anybody that talks at that time's their leader.
Mm-hmm. Chris says Seth should do the ultimate betrayal and become leader of Judgment Day at War Games. Bring back the blonde strip of hair. Not the skunk hair, Chris.
Oh, jeez.
Not the skunk hair.
Don't bring
No,
it.
Chris. No, not the skunk hair.
And like the vest, and they all have to wear vests.
I'm like a big pull of Chris Jericho. It's JS shit. The Judgment Day, their vests. We're cool because we wear vests.
Got it. Is he gonna get it?
No, he orders a pizza because he's a loser.
Why do you have to tell me the future all the time?
Because they have this commercial all the time.
Remember Buffy?
You knew everything I said. What was the one thing you didn't
Buffy's
know?
gonna be with Spike. That one. How's that?
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, bummer.
Now I do.
But how you don't know how it happens?
Oh my! It doesn't matter.
It kind of does.
He's gonna slip, trip, and fall, and his penis gonna go up inside of her.
No, it really, really makes a difference on how they do it. It's not like that, but I mean how they get together. Their
How
storyline
they
of
do it.
what happened.
Not that kind of doing it.
The storyline part. John's in the chat. Hey, John, good to see you tonight. Did you have a good weekend? Says, what's up, gang? Not much, just watching wrestling and NBA and football and stuff. So he says it would be interesting to see if the LWO will follow Santos after Santos turned on Ray this past week.
They should. They should boot out Ray.
They should boot out Ray. And Carlito. They should just be together.
Carlito's
Old
not really
past
in it, though.
has-beens.
He doesn't wear an LWO
Who
shirt.
cares? Kick him out, too.
He's not in it.
And then have Zelina on the outskirts going, I don't know where to go. So he says, SmackDown and Collision are going head-to-head on Friday night. Get ready for a Tony Khan meltdown. Why are they going head-to-head on a Friday?
Was she Nikki Garcia before she got released from WWE? I'm pretty sure she was Nikki Bella when this show first started. Now she's Nikki Garcia.
Yeah, she married that guy.
That's her last name though, right?
I don't think so.
I think that's her maiden name. I think they're
Well, maybe since they got rid of being part of the WWE, they got rid of Bella.
Right. Well, they did. That's what I'm just saying.
I don't know. I don't keep up with that garbage.
You don't keep up with.
I do not care what the fuck happens to those stupid hoes. Sophie says, do you think Damage Control will turn on Bailey during the War Games match?
Yes. Not during, but maybe. Or before, so she joins the other team.
Seth and Sammy going up against Dom and JD. That should be
And
over
then
right
Charlotte
now.
can kick out Shotzi, and then Shotzi can go join
The Judgment Day?
the girls.
Oh, the Damage Control?
Damage Control, yeah.
And then everybody's just part of damage Control in the back?
Except for Bailey, Sasha. Or not Sasha, sorry. Bailey,
Bianca?
Charlotte, and Bianca.
Chris says, Travis, what are your thoughts on Dalton Castle? He's kind of like a young Jericho, if you ask me, a cool, flashy 80s entrance. He just needs to be on TV more.
Old Dalton Castle, huh? I don't even know who Dalton Castle is.
Is he an NXT or an AEW person? Pico says, well, when the stork arrives. That's right. Sophie says, did you see the video of Zelina prank calling Dom? No.
No, but that's funny.
Chris says, fuck off. Videos reporting that Shohei Ohtani intrigued with the Braves. Ew.
The Braves aren't going to pay him. They wouldn't even pay their own guy, Freddie Freeman or whatever.
They're like, we're interested in you since you're broken. You know, all busted up.
They're like,
and
oh, I can't
have
wait.
a broken
Do you want $1
Tommy
billion?
Johns.
I'm going to give you $1 billion.
People says she
Okay.
should just hop on Nia Jax and be like twins. Picola. It's inappropriate for Zelina. Chris says Shotzi could fit into Judgment Day because of the gothic style. People's like, you know, a new gender swapped version of DeVito and Schwarzenegger, right?
Right.
Sophie says, I'm surprised Dom has held onto that NXT championship this long. I know he lost it for a couple of days, but has he defended it?
Wouldn't it be kind of weird because Zelina's the littler one?
Yeah, she's not hideous and weird, awkward.
Right, because DeVito was the weird one.
Mm-hmm.
But Zelina would be the Arnold.
I guess. I don't know. John says that was on earlier Cola Twins. Chris says he's the AEW guy with the boys. Dalton Castle kind of wears like an Elvis jumpsuit in his entrance like Honky Tonk Man.
With the who? The guys?
With the boys.
I don't know if I know who that is. In AEW?
Are you talking about the ass boys? Like the guns? Who's the boys? Sophie says this.
Dude, I watch AEW every week. I've never missed an episode of AEW, and I have no idea who you're talking about. How's that possible?
I don't know.
I'm actually watching it right now.
So he says there are reports that once an NXT officially moves to CW, that brand might tour more. Pico says, oh, love that show.
Yeah,
so
that would be cool. They need to tour, too, so they can fill up crowds a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So he says, I think he has defended it a few times since he won it back. I think he meant Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah. I don't know anything about Ring of Honor. Although Ring of Honor could have been on the CW, but instead Tony said no. And now AEW, or AEW, not AEW, NXT's on it, so.
WWE got it instead.
That's hilarious.
That's fucking, what a dumb asshole. You know, he could have reached way more fucking households with being on the CW with that than anywhere else.
Yeah, it would outrate his own show that he already has.
Yeah, what a dumbass. Like, I bet his dad's like, what the fuck? Oh, they're just giving up. They're like, we're done. That's funny. Chris says, yeah, he's on Ring of Honor, but he's been on AEW a couple of times. Well, he hasn't been on AEW enough times for us to know who he is, I guess.
Yeah, that's that Tony Khan crap where he just brings people in that you're supposed to know if you're
like an average
not deep
Joe.
into it.
I'm not deep in the indie circuit, so I'm like, I don't know who this person is. And then Pico gets all upset because I'm like, where's the talent?
Way, Ricochet did get a concussion last week.
Oh, did he?
On that move. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Sammy tried to save him, but it didn't really work.
Yeah, he wasn't strong enough. Whoever it was wasn't strong enough to save his ass. I can't remember who he went up against. But I'll tell you this much. If you guys have watched the replay of the Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio match, Logan basically saved Rey's fucking life.
When he tried to break his neck.
Yeah.
Maybe Rey wanted to commit suicide because he's such a horrible father.
Oh, God.
You don't know.
Not the suicide.
Yes.
I just need to put Post-it notes on my fingers. Not the suicide. So he says, I don't know how many people watch Ring of Honor weekly on their app. Yeah, I don't know either, but
I'm not paying to watch it. That's weird.
John's like, he's coming to your town in his pink Cadillac. He's just the honky-tonk man.
He's cool, he's cocky, and he's bad.
People says RH was never on mainstream TV even before it may have been on Access TV. And that's a TV, that's a station that's only on cable. So why on earth would you fuck yourself over and not put it on an actual fucking local station that is the possibility of being in every single person's home? Like, it's like, wow, dude, are you really that stupid? Yes, you are. You are that stupid.
He's a stupendous intellect.
Of the stupendous intellect. People's like, bro. What? You don't like me calling you out about the whole indie thing?
Bro.
Bro. Come on, people. What is teasing amongst family and friends? You know, it's called love. So if it says Ring of Honor next pay-per-view isn't going to be on traditional pay-per-view, it will be exclusive to their app. Well, I guess they won't get a lot more people watching it then, will they? Pico says, and I'm going the high road.
How many people watch this shit on their app? I want to know. I want real numbers.
Right? I mean, that's true.
Are they getting like 100,000?
Yeah.
Or are they getting like 1 million?
Yeah. I mean,
or
how
are we
many
in
people
between
really
that,
have
or
an
is
app?
it like 20,000? I kind of want to know.
Let's go to the Play Store and see how many times it's been downloaded.
Oh, that's a good idea. My phone's on the floor. Where's yours? Duh.
It's right here. Right there.
What's it called? Ring of Honor?
I guess. I don't know what the fuck their app's called. People's like, Nick Wayne is the freaking future. You know, I can see it. I totally can see it. I can totally see it now. Yeah. His mom.
They have over 10,000 downloads of this app. Sorry. What?
Oh my God. Over 10K? Not the 10K.
They have 10K plus.
Damn.
That's just on Android, guys.
Man, that is just amazing. So that's so many people watching their pay-per-view.
Let's read some rankings here. This one says, worst app experience on Android TV that I have ever had. I have to sign in every time.
Wow, it sounds like a really good app so far.
Navigating between shows is horrid. After you find the show you want to watch, you can't just press play on it. You have to move over to watch.
You have to move the bar?
I guess. I don't know.
What the?
There is no preview when fast forwarding, which is normal. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's normal.
DAZN does that shit too. I hate that.
Yeah. Most of it doesn't. I mean, everything's not YouTube, for crap's sake, people. Come on.
When one episode is finished, it usually starts the one before it. What the fuck?
This sounds great. I think this is a lovely app.
So if you're watching an episode, instead of you're on 6, it doesn't go to 7, it goes to 5.
Oh, that's
You're
lovely.
like-
Wait a minute. I thought I just... What? Did I just watch this? Where am I? What's happening? Anyways, we're back from our commercial break, everybody. This impromptu, what is this? Tag team match.
Yeah, this is one of the best tag team matches you'll ever see. This is McDowell versus Seth Rollins right now, and Dominic's in the ring with Seth as well. We do not see Sammy, which is normal in a tag team match. You never see Sammy in tag team matches.
Until the last minute, and he
He
takes all
will
the
come
glory.
in, and then he'll kick him with the hula kick, and then get the pin, or take the loss. That's Sammy's MO. He does not wrestle in tag team matches. Ask Kevin.
How dare they? Beals and AR Fox. That boy can move. So it's like I'm surprised Tony Khan turned that down for Ring of Honor. People
Oh,
like,
look at Sammy!
You hurt me real bad. You're so full of poop. So it was like if Vince McMahon bought Ring of Honor, I bet he wouldn't turn down the whole CW deal for that brand.
Well, let's look. He just took it for his Ring of Honor.
Well,
which is
let's see
NXT.
what he would do with Ring of Honor. I'm pretty sure that he probably would just disband the whole fucking thing.
He'd keep like 3 of the guys.
He would like absorb some of it and then go, yeah, no, I don't want to deal with this crap. Here, get it over the
How
way.
long have you been in the minor leagues? Oh, 14 years. Goodbye.
Chad's like, give them the numbers, Sophie. Say it. Sophie's like, I don't know the numbers. And Pickle's like, that is something we as wrestling fans should know about the smaller promotions. Well, I mean,
agree.
if you're an Indies fan, though, right? I mean, because that's where it's going to come into play.
Oh!
Is being an
Mommy!
Indies fan. Well, the leader came out and told him what to fucking do.
Look, she's all shiny. What'd she do?
She's like,
Was she in the
"Do
shower in the
this."
back?
She's like, go out there and do your goddamn jobs, you little bastards.
Uh-oh. Cody and Jey Uso. Hey, look, there's another Diggs
Oh, where? Oh,
on the Bills.
my.
My.
Gibbs?
Oh, was it Gibbs?
I don't know. You
thought-
said Diggs?
I think it was Diggs, right?
Okay.
Isn't that who we were looking at yesterday?
No, Gibbs.
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 Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Oh, let's see. Pickle's like, TNA better step their game up, yo. John's like, first cuts the deepest cola. Sophie says, wow, that sounds like an awful app. No wonder why people don't get it.
10,000 plus.
Pickle says Cheryl Crow had told that once.
And it looks like some of those people probably, and I'm just going to throw this out there, have it on 2 devices.
That's a possibility.
And so that's 5,000 plus subscribers to their network watching those pay-per-views.
I don't
huge
know.
numbers.
Would they consider that a double download if you... I mean, because it's already... Well, I guess you would have to download it onto the other device.
Yeah, you put it on your TV streaming sticks and or what whatever you watch stuff. So I'd assume you have it on your TV and your phone.
Not the banning!
Banned from ringside.
That's not good enough. Not banned from the arena. So it says, people thought Tony Khan would do something better when he bought Ring of Honor, and he made it even worse. It's true. But, that's what happens when you're not very good at your job. Walter says, Seth and Sammy use moves they got thrown out. They are not allowed to use anything now. They're completely out of the arena
They got kicked
forever.
out of the building.
Yep.
They're going to
No
have to
more
come
for
back
3
as
more
fans.
hours. Chris says, Travis, do you think Will Ospreay could be as big as Kenny Omega?
Yes. I think he could be bigger than Kenny Omega.
Walter says DQ your winner, Sammy and Seth.
Now, I'm also going by Kenny Omega in AEW, not Kenny Omega in the Indies and the legend that he was in Japan. Just talking about if he was to show up on AEW TV, he would be a bigger star because I don't think Kenny's the biggest star.
Right.
Do you?
No.
You think Kenny Omega's their top guy?
No.
I don't even think of him as the top guy.
No. Not even from the beginning, he really wasn't their top guy.
Right. I mean, he was world champion.
I know, but he
As he
wasn't
should
like
have
their
been,
top
but-
guy.
You had like Jericho and you had Paige.
I don't know. I mean, I just didn't think he was really a top guy then, even though he had the championship and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I get it. Moxley's probably their top guy in my mind. Like,
Yeah. Cody Rhodes, John Moxley, and Chris Jericho were probably their top guys that like
what started.
paved what they wanted to do. And then they had all their guys underneath that were started with them, whether or not they came from other indies promotions or not. But not really a lot of them were old WWE guys, right? They were just indie guys that,
Right.
here, we're going to give you a name and we're going to make you the best. And what happened is Tony Khan gave up on that and decided that he didn't like that idea and fucked them all.
Right.
Every single one of them.
Will Ospreay also, if he was to sign with WWE, would be just as big, I think, as AJ Styles.
Yeah. I mean, he might be able to. I mean, he might have the charisma enough to like win stuff and win things and stuff like that. He has a little bit of that kind of a style of wrestling, unlike Kenny Omega, where I think Kenny Omega is more of a Japanese showboater. And I don't feel that that's going to. It just doesn't work as good in WWE as they want it to. You can't bring all of that over. You could do some of it, but when you rely on your whole arsenal to be that style, it doesn't work for WWE fans. It just
Right.
doesn't, because a lot of them, if you notice, don't watch New Japan. They don't watch a lot of the indie
And not
stuff.
only
They've
that-
been WWE fans their whole life, and that's all they've watched.
Right, and not only that, but they're like tribalism. They're
Oh, yeah.
They only watch it and then they stand by it, and everything else is stupid.
Yeah.
So if you go too far outside of it, they don't like it at all.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And you see it, and you see it. You see it with the matches that they have sometimes in WWE. You can watch it happen. They'll do that whole New Japan, like the indie stuff where they do a couple moves and stop and do a couple moves and stop or something like that. And the crowd
they don't laugh,
doesn't,
or they don't
doesn't
clap,
laugh.
they don't do
get involved. They don't
anything.
give a shit. They're just like, what the fuck is this crap? Like,
Yeah.
just wrestle. Do what you're supposed to do and entertain me and go about your day.
Like Kenny Omega, like an example of the fans is Kenny Omega can wrestle a blow-up doll and make it a 3-star match. For the people that star matches, I don't do that, but if you were to, right?
Right.
They make it a big deal. He wrestles a little girl. She comes in the ring and wrestles him, and he and I'm talking like physical wrestling. It's the child, and he's doing like she's Hurricane Rana him, and he's flying across the ring, and it's a 3-star match. You know, he can't do that in WWE. Like it
No.
wouldn't even work. Like
Yeah.
the fans would be like, "What is this stupid shit?" Like it's just.
Yeah.
It's just dumb to them.
If you don't remember, they tried it with Braun Strowman and his tag
Oh,
team
with the
partner being a kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was sweet and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, it's for the kids. But nobody was like, oh my God, let's watch that all the time.
Right.
Oh. Banned. You're banned. You're banned too. Oh, Zod Zoe Stark had to interrupt him. Ban her too. Ban everybody. Just ban them all. You get a ban. You get a ban. Everybody gets a ban.
I'm just glad they're pushing her early like this so she can fade away. Because
Zoe?
that's what happened.
Oh yeah, she'll go away. Like this is just a weird push in your face crap that's gonna.
They do this. They did it with Rhea. They pushed her at us for a while
Yeah. Well.
when she first came up, and then she faded, and then she built herself back up. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the build up, not just be handed to them.
Yeah. Let's see.
She's terrible on the mic.
Well, there's like Saturday AEW Full Gear. Are you guys going live? Yes. For AEW's Full Gear, their pay-per-view, most likely, Walter. Sophie says they have been building to this War Games match for most of the year. Piccolo says, I want Tyler Breeze to appear once on AEW. Did you ever watch a single ROH match, Sophie? Like, seriously.
Like a real Ring of Honor one? No, but I've seen something of Ring of Honor before. I don't remember what it was.
And now it's Sophie's turn to answer that question. Because that's who the question was for. But. Sophie says Tyler Breeze was almost part of that Maximum Male Models group, as Mace and Mansoor said in an interview like a couple weeks ago.
That's funny.
Chris says, yeah, on paper, Kenny Omega was supposed to be their top guy, but Jericho polices his way to world title, then Mox and Cody. Cody never had the world title.
Yeah, no, he's just talking about they're just
But
so popular.
but their popularity and stuff. But that was Cody Rhodes' big thing though for AEW, is he wanted to push the younger talent. That's what he was there for. That was what he wanted to have happen. And then they went away from it, and that's why he left. Like you could ask him that question to this day, and that would be his answer. It wasn't going the way he wanted it or thought it was going to go. It went in a completely different direction than where he saw that it should have went. Future champion. Oh God, you said it out of your mouth. Sophie says, no, I have not watched one Ring of Honor match. And Pico says, did you even know who the Briscoes were? Walter says, Raw is still great. Adam Pearce, calm down. John's like, Mark and Jay. Sophie says, I heard of the Briscoes, and they almost went to the WWE a few times over the years. Chris says, Will Ospreay beat Walter, a.k.a. Gunther, before. And Walter says, ODB was in the in TNA, Mark and Jay's sister.
I like her. Old dirty bitch. She's the one with the big boobs that would always drink and shit.
That's fine.
She, like, slaps her tits.
Sophie says, Will Ospreay in WWE will be an interesting idea. Isn't he part of a faction in AEW? No, he's not. Piccolo says
you're thinking of Jay White.
Yeah. Piccolo says there was like 30 to 40 ROH talents, especially women, who are just ghosted now because Tony hasn't bothered picking up those talents. It's true. Well, Piccolo did it with his own AEW company. I mean, what did everybody expect? It was going to be different?
Allie's gone. She's doing OnlyFans now. If you guys didn't know, you're welcome. It does say no nudes, so I don't know what that means.
Means that she's going to probably have bikinis on and stuff and weird outfits. Who knows? Walter's like, WWE next to NXT Tuesday. Sophie says, so Tony Khan did the Ring of Honor what Vince did when he bought WCW regarding talent? No. Tony Khan did to Ring of Honor exactly what he does to his own AEW. He doesn't do anything with it.
What was the message before about Tuesday?
WWE NXT Tuesday.
Yeah, that's coming tomorrow.
Piccolo says, like, I was surprised, guys. Like, Shane Taylor, The Righteous, and Rush are even getting airtime.
Roosh.
Walter says, I like cat fights. Piccolo's like, perhaps.
I'm frustrated.
And Sophie says, Sheamus is coming back soon. John says, we do things. We make our own beef jerky. We crap with the door open. And we go on riverboat gambling trips. Well, there you go. Piccolo says, Travis, you may have seen something. Nigel McGuinness match or American Dragon Bryan Danielson. Sophie says there are many talents in AEW that probably haven't any TV time in a long time. Piccolo says that seems like a perfect trio. Chris says now we give timeless fucking Tony. She left WWE a title match opportunity against Charlotte and she threw it all away, but she's in a better place, I guess.
She says that she is, or she said she was. Nobody's wrong, right? Like if you do something, you're not going to go, I fucked up. You're just going to be like, oh, I chose right. It's the best for me.
She was a champion. I don't know what you guys are fucking crying about. She was an AEW women's champion for a minute. Pickle's like PG Lynx. Chris says Allie, a.k.a. Bunny, should either go to Impact or NXT. She can become a star there. Why? Yep. She's a star on OnlyFans. And Walter says Shinsuke Nakamura turned heel. I think he's been a heel for a minute. And Walter wants Otis to win.
Me too.
Who's he going up against?
Don't know. Oh, wait. Yeah, we do.
Bronson Reed? No.
No, it's whoever wrestled Tozawa last week.
Who did he wrestle?
And I said, oh, great. He's going to go through them all.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't remember who it was. Huh? But
Is it the weirdo guys? The Ciampa and them?
I don't think so. I think they're good guys.
Oh.
So it'd be a heel group.
The fuck? Why would your shit
That's
be on
how I
fire?
cook.
I'd be sad. Wonder if you wanted to use your emergency pizza for something else. And you were looking really forward to that sandwich that the bird stole. You're like, man, this is the best sandwich ever, and the bird steals it, and then all you get is a consolation prize of a stupid pizza.
What if then you killed all birds?
No, why would you do that? That's just silly.
Because you blamed all birds for him.
Just that bird. Sophie says, didn't they kill off Allie on Impact TV? That'll be interesting to see how they bring her back to life on Impact TV if she does go back there.
Right.
Piccolo says there were several times I enjoyed Allie, a.k.a. the bunny, run around in the back and share Oreos with other AEW catering stars. John says, everybody leaves does better. Nobody says, I effed up. It's not better. Piccolo says, year 1 and 2 AEW, pour some liquor out, right? I mean, seriously. Like, their growth period during that time was astounding. And they were going places. And then Tony Khan decided that he was going to pick up a whole bunch of old-ass has-been WWE people. Well, they must be okay. He got rid of them. We should put up on our stuff.
Yeah, that's where he screwed up, is he was taking the ones that were getting cut, not the ones that were contracts were expiring.
Yeah.
You know, take Drew McIntyre, not freaking, well, every other one that he took.
Ryan Danielson.
Daniel's
Keith
different.
Lee.
He didn't get released. His ran out. So that would be my argument, would be like Daniel Bryanson type.
Yeah, but he's broken. The reason why his ran out is because he was told he shouldn't wrestle anymore because of his concussion issues. I'm trying to remember who... I'm trying to still think who Ricochet was fighting for that concussion. Was that four-way thing?
Yeah. For some reason I thought Sammy was in that. Was he? Was he trying to get into that title match?
Last week?
Because Miz won it. Maybe it was the Miz. Because it was the Miz, Ricochet,
Bronson
Reed, and another fat guy, Eric. Ivar.
Yeah, Ivar. That's right.
So it was the Miz that tried to catch him. Right?
Yeah, maybe.
He just doesn't remember most of the match, which is usually concussion.
That's funny.
We used to call it getting your bell rung. That's funny. Think about that. Like, my generation, it's like, oh, I got my bell rung.
Right?
We didn't call it concussion.
What does that even mean? Brandon Stevens in the chat. Hey, Brandon says, Zia Lee, marry Brandon Stevens. Piccolo says, I'm just waiting for that Marco stunt call up to NXT. Will he ever wrestle? I thought he had something happen with his ankles or something where he can't wrestle anymore.
I never want to see him wrestle in my life. But that's funny. Marco's stuff.
Chris says, question, did we really care about Eddie Kingston push? Like, I had no problem if he did have a title match on AEW.
No.
And Chris says, plus, they need to push Abaddon. What a fucking idiot.
Eight. One night.
Just one night, that's it. Nobody cares about anything else.
Oh, God.
Oh, good. Respect. Gross. Harley's like, I am so under the influence of drugs. Beep, beep, beep. I forgot that I made an ice cream. Oh, man, that sucks. It's weird that you'd forget you made an ice cream.
We're good. There it is. It's a promise. You can take that to the bank because he promised Becky.
Pinky promise!
He didn't pinky it.
Pickle says, and Cody saw the signs. He saw the signs.
It's Shinsuke.
He did see the signs.
Knuckle.
And it opened up his mind.
He saw the sign.
John's like, Harley, you go ahead, Riddle. Pickle's like, I mean, if we had a big board and tier list mofos who were the big signings, I think Christian is top tier. I think the reason why Christian is top tier is because of his talking abilities and that he's a really good heel at this point. I mean, when he first kind of showed up, it was kind of like, bleh.
He needs to be with Rhea because he's the daddy and she's the mommy. It'd work.
Chris says, plus TK needs to push Anna Jay. This is like the third time she was given a push and went nowhere.
Well, it's because they don't know how to push her.
Because she's one of their original people. Why would they do that when they can push Paige and Ruby and Tony? People that people are like, oh my God, I know her.
They don't know how to push pretty women. That's where they fumble the ball. They're like, oh, we can't push them because they're pretty. I swear that's what they think.
Piccolo says, Harley, puff, puff, pass, my dude.
Is he
and Harley's
married?
like, edibles are so... And Piccolo's like, I feel you.
I wonder if he's married.
Who?
Tony Khan.
Ew.
Because that would explain a lot.
Of his issues?
If he's only pushing ugly women.
Oh. Sophie says, it'll be interesting to see how Survivor Series sets up Royal Rumble matches. John's got the thumbs up. And Sophie says, I saw a rumor that Eva Marie could be on her way to AEW. Piccolo's like, I want some dessert.
Eva Marie in AEW? No way.
I wouldn't do anything for her or them.
Sakes.
No way. Sophie says Cody versus Seth 4. Piccolo says, I'll probably pick up a sweet potato pie this week. Sweet potato pie.
And it shook my mouth.
Chris says, Christian has been great heel work in AEW. And Sophie says, we know Shinsuke will fight Gable next.
So I guess it was Shinsuke that fought him.
I didn't
Yeah,
think it
and then
was,
Gabe
but I guess so.
or Gabe Stevenson. What the hell am I saying? Chad Gable, he'll wrestle next week.
John says, Cola Harley has ice cream and edibles. And Pickle's like, ice cream would never be my first choice. I think I would choose nachos. Nachos for your munchies and crunchies. John says, RC Cola and a moon pie. Sophie says, WWE does what AEW does with their talent by pushing people and then stopping pushing them out of nowhere. Whatever, AEW doesn't push talent at all. Chris says, Eva Marie times Harley Cameron times Mariah May triple scissoring and motorboating. Chris has got the white Christmas everywhere.
Jesus.
Grossness, dude.
There's also Penelope Ford out there, so I'm just saying.
Sophie says, when do you think we will see Edge and Christian reunite? You know, it's going to happen at some point. Well, considering that they hate each other right now, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Otis squishing him in the corner. Are we fat shaming Otis? Because I said squishing.
Squish, squish. No, I don't know if that's really. I mean, he's a big guy, and if he threw himself at somebody in a corner, it'd probably squish him a little.
If you don't date fat people, then you're fat phobic. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, he got back up on his feet. Usually takes a knee. Otis takes him out. Oh, yeah. I think he just called him sheepskin. Sheepshin.
No, he's not in a relationship or a girlfriend or any kind of thing.
So he's more like into the Nyla Rose type.
Probably.
Explains a lot. Everything's starting to line up. Either that or he doesn't want any sort of lawsuit. I wonder if he lives in his dad's basement.
Maybe.
It's probably a huge house. It makes sense. He's like, I don't live in that basement. I have my own house. on the ground.
Motorboating son of a bitch. Sophie says, when do you think we will see... Oh, I read that. Pico says, I'm a sucker for Taco Bell bean and cheese burritos, but I haven't eaten them in years. Yeah, I'd probably give you a full clean out if you did. John's like, you old sailor, you. Where is she? Is she still in the house? You motorboating son of a bitch. Brandon wants Xylee to marry him still, and Chris says Otis has charisma. But actually cutting a promo, if he could, he'd be like a new Dusty Rhodes. Sophie says Otis got lucky by being put in the tag team, or else he probably would have gotten released a long time ago with his former partner, Tucker.
Yeah, him and Tucker would have been.
Chris says, nah, TK likes the DMD types. John says, no frijoles, you'll blow out an O-ring. Edward Maxwell in the chat says Roman Reigns can't fight. And Sophie says, still don't understand how Akira is part of the Alpha Academy group.
It was comic relief, but yeah.
Edward says Roman Reigns is powerless without the bloodline.
Fact. And the bloodline is, the wrestlers are worthless without Roman Reigns.
Sure.
So it does the same thing, especially when you break up the Usos.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Usos are nothing without Roman.
It's true.
Choose Duracell. Oh. Nobody knows that women think.
That.
You know how, like, people are saying there's, like, this big, like, Mandela effect, why time's moving so fast?
Okay.
Like, years are just flying by, and...
Yeah. Happens when you get older.
First of all, it does. But the other thing I think that's happening is that we have distraction all the time with our phones and other things. So we don't have a lot of dead time.
Mm-hmm.
And so things are really just going faster. Because back in the day, if you think about it, you'd be, I don't know, like the word, but bored as shit. You're like, oh my God, I have to go play with a toy or something. And you go play with your toys. But if you went back in time even further back, you know, you're outside playing with a stick or something, you know?
Done it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that is that...
And time goes slower because you're...
I don't know if it really went slower. I mean, it might have, but I think it was just... I know that when you have nothing to do, time definitely goes by really, really, really slow.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I'd read books, and books will make it go really fast. Like, I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, I'm just going to read a few pages or like a chapter or something. I'll read, you know, for a little while. I'm going to stop reading at 10:30, you know. I'll look at my clock at maybe it's like 9:45 or something. I'll read for 45 minutes. I'll get involved with what I'm reading, and I'll just be like, it's fine, I'll just read a little bit more. Look at the clock, it's 11:15.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, what happened?
Well, you read that whole Harry Potter book in almost one sitting, that first book, didn't you?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. I can do that with a lot of books. If they're short enough.
Right.
There's other books I
You're not
can't.
doing War and Peace in one sitting.
No. Or Game of Thrones. And I have to be really interested in it, too, for me to be like,
Nakamura
to
kicked
just
out.
not stop reading and just read and read and read and read. Like, get so involved in it that, like with video games, if I'm involved in the video game, I'll just keep playing and keep playing and keep playing. And pretty soon I'm like, I have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to do stuff.
Like your
Like, I have to go to
Animated
the bathroom or live life or...
She got wrapped up in Animated Age. She's like, do you want to watch another show? So I can not watch this anymore?
Yeah. Did I watch it like almost all day today? I was like, oh my God, stop. It's a short one. So like there's only like 26 episodes, so it's not like it's, you know, 50
Otis caught
seasons
him.
or something.
Power slam. That should do it.
It should, but it's not going to. Because why? Because it's
Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura. Why? Because he's a singles wrestler. Why? Because Otis isn't a singles wrestler.
And Otis should lose.
Not lose. Chris is like, AI questions. We can on the next commercial, guys. Edward says Roman Reigns is very boring. Now I think wrestling is fake. John says Astros suck, Chris.
Did you just say you think wrestling is fake?
Yeah, that
Explain
Roman Reigns
that.
is very boring. So now I think wrestling is fake. Edward says, we need a new champion. Pico's like, is AI questions happening tonight? And Chris says, people said time changed in like 2015. Everything turned different, like in terms of political correctness. Edward says, John Cena lost to Solo was very terrifying. Oh, no. And Robbie's in the chat now. He says, what's cooking, Doc? I don't know. Did you wake up from your nap? How's work? Did you work this weekend? Shinsuke Nakamura won that. Edward says only Brock Lesnar can end Roman Reigns. Wow.
He's tried.
John says not even a TV in our bedroom. Definitely no books. Only 2 things for the bedroom. Oh, I always had books. My mom was a very adamant. You should learn to read and read things.
My mom thought
Here's books. Read them.
that I didn't pick up a book and read like she was reading, that I didn't like them, so therefore I didn't have to look at them. That's how I was raised. That's why I read the chat so well. I learned how to read in 6th grade.
Well, you know what? If you would have been born nowadays in Oregon, you don't even have to have that competency to graduate. So you wouldn't even have had to do anything. You just show up to school, kind of, and just sit there. It's amazing.
Oh, wow. Look at Gable wants some.
He wants it.
You think they'll wrestle next week?
I think maybe no.
You think
Maybe
it's
so.
that predictable?
Maybe not.
So Gable's the gatekeeper then? I would assume that Otis is the best and he'd be the last guy you'd wrestle.
No, because Gable's like their leader.
I get it, yeah.
He's like, it's my academy.
He's the professor, yeah.
Edward says to Miss The Undertaker, yes, wrestling is real fake. Yes, it is real. Yep, got it. Robbie's like, nah, just today. Just today? You work today? John says, no. Robbie's like, Dee, you should be happy for my presence. I totally am. I don't know why you weren't here earlier. I'm very upset at you for it. There, you'll have to find it, because I don't know where it's at.
I don't know where it's at. Where'd you put it?
I didn't put it anywhere. You're the one that downloaded it. Pico says, nice, Edward. You know the Avengers are just a movie, and Fight are choreographed, too.
How many things do you have? Anyways, it's that.
Cool.
Except for
All right, you guys, if you're ready for a question.
Do you have one?
No?
Well,
Nobody had a question yet. I'm just telling them we are, so ask your question.
hurry and type in a question.
John says, how far are you from the blue turf? Always looks good on TV, especially in the snow.
The Smurf turf, we're about
4
3
hours.
hours.
3.5. Depends on how fast you drive. We're on the other side of the state, let's put it that way.
It's 147 miles.
We're on the east side of our state, not the west side of our state. But in the same lower half of the state.
Wait, hold on. No, it's 200 and something miles, because Salt Lake's 200.
Yeah, Salt Lake's way closer.
Salt Lake's 147.
Yeah. Edward's like, bring back the old days. And John's a thumbs up. And Edward's like, why is Roman Reigns holding 3 belts instead of 2? I don't think.
Well, he doesn't anymore, but
He doesn't hold any belts but 1. I don't know why they call it what they call it, but he just has a title belt. That's it.
they used to have them all, which was silly. Oh, there he is.
Walter
Zoom back.
says, okay, bye, guys. See you Wednesday. Bye, Walter. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you on Wednesday. Good luck with bingo. Good luck. Chris has an AI question, but it's about country singers. Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
People's like, take care, Walter. And Edward says, just 1 belt? Yeah, he doesn't have more than 1. He just has a belt.
Are we going to wait till the next commercial?
Yeah, we probably better make sure that... Don't put it there. It'll fall.
I was giving it to you.
Why would I want it?
What am I going to do with your phone?
I don't know. Hold on to it.
Look at this.
for
He's
the
trying
AI
to shake
stuff.
his hand.
Not the shaking of hands. All right, well. Do you think he has to try really hard to, like, still talk in his accent
No.
from being in the United States a lot, in America?
Hit
Like,
him.
a
Hit
lot,
him.
and around people that don't have those accents? Why is he walking like he's got a corn cob up his butt?
He probably does. You don't know what Becky's into. She might have had a strap on.
It's true. Robbie says, where did it go right for Nakamura? It hasn't. That's the problem. So somebody tell Charlotte that this is the right way to wear a onesie.
Yeah.
Please, somebody tell her that this is the correct way to wear a motherfucking onesie. A leotard onesie on TV.
Yeah.
Somebody tell her to take a page out of Chelsea's book that that's how you wear a motherfucking onesie. God damn, girl.
I couldn't say any words. So. I was trying, but then my jaw would just drop to the floor.
Okay, here you go.
Oh,
AI, ready?
you need to calm it.
Do you want the country one or the one P. Cole is asking?
Just ask a question.
Okay, ready?
No. Well, yeah, but not. I'll tell you when. Now.
Who has had a better career overall? Country singer George Strait or Garth Brooks?
Brooks ruined country music.
Probably I'll make my phone explode.
Too much cool, you think?
No,
lot of
too much
cool.
gross and ick. Just ick.
Comparing the careers of George Strait and Garth Brooks is a bit like comparing legends, each with incredible achievements. George Strait, often known as the King of Country, has had a remarkable career spanning more than 3 decades. He's known for a staggering 60 #1 singles, which is more than any other artist in any genre, and he has 33 platinum or multi-platinum albums. He was named Artist of the Decade in the 2000s by the Academy of Country Music and was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. His album Troubadour won a Grammy, and he's won 22 CMA awards, with the distinction of being Entertainer of the Year in 1989 and 1990. Garth Brooks, on the other hand, has achieved massive commercial success and has a career that's equally impressive. He's won 2 Grammy Awards, 17 American Music Awards, and holds the RIOA Award for the best-selling solo albums artist of the century in the U.S. With over 170 million records sold worldwide, he's the best-selling solo artist in the U.S. Brooks has won a record 22 Academy of Country Music Awards and, like Strait, is in the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He's also recognized for his philanthropic work through his foundation. Both artists have left indelible marks on country music and have garnered immense respect and admiration from fans and peers alike. Their careers are remarkable, not just for the number of records sold or awards won, but for their lasting impact on the genre and the music industry as a whole.
All right. P-Call has an AI question too. Do wrestlers with bigger beards win more championships?
Oh, Lord.
There's no clear evidence or research to suggest that wrestlers with bigger beards win more championships. Success in professional wrestling is based on a combination of skill,
Oh boy.
performance ability, character popularity, and the decisions of the writing and production teams behind the scenes. Physical appearance, including the presence of a beard, may contribute to a wrestler's persona or popularity, but it doesn't directly correlate with the number of championships won. Wrestling promotions might have their own criteria for selecting champions, and while a distinctive look can help a wrestler stand out, it's the overall package and how they fit into storylines that typically influence their championship wins. Would you like to know about some iconic bearded wrestlers and their achievements?
No.
No, we're good. Thanks, though. Robbie says, where did it go right for Nakamura? I don't think it really has that much. I mean, they gave him a push and then it just kind of fizzled out. Edward says, I enjoy wrestling, though, but we need to change our champion. Picolo's AI question. And then Sophie says, what are the chances with Triple H fully in charge of creative that WWE will bring back the King of the Ring tournament and make it a pay-per-view again?
That'd be cool. That'd be a sweet one to do overseas.
Edward says Rollins deserves the world title because he fights alone. Robbie says D, but he's getting TV time, ain't he? Chris says oh yeah, sexy onesie. And John's like, good God, she's blessed. Robbie's like, D, you can tell Charlotte has great style. Sophie says that AJ Styles versus Shinsuke match at Mania 4 or 5 years ago wasn't that great. Ravi says George Strait. Edward's like Brock Lesnar. And Sophie says, would Shinsuke fit into AEW? Edward says George Strait.
Yes.
Yeah, he would. He'd do okay. John says, though Garth passed the Beatles for something. Edward says Roman Reigns 3 years. And Piccolo says, this AI spittin'. And Robbie says, Sophie, you fit into AEW. And Sophie says, I am not a big country music fan. Edward says, I pray Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso win the Judgment Day, win against them. Sophie says, that's an interesting question I would never thought about, the beard one. And Piccolo's like, whatever, AI, you and your fancy big words. Robbie's like, for fuck's sakes. Piccolo's like, piff. Sophie's like, wow. And Chris is like, if that's the case, Snitsky should make a comeback. He's rocking the beard again.
There you go.
Sophie says, so they are going 4 versus 4 for War Games?
For now, not really. You know they're going to get a 5th member.
They're going to have 5, just like they normally do.
It's just who basically, we need to know where Drew McIntyre's going.
Tegan's knee injuries that she got from being on her knees all the time.
No.
That's why Triple H was all, oh, you poor dear. Let's make sure your life gets better. Back on the map. That's hilarious. Oh, my Lord. Chris says, AI question, the percentage Tegan Knox will get injured again?
100.
John says, look at Natty's Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Says, question, can AI do an impression of Liv Morgan?
I don't think so.
Sophie says, Snitsky did make an appearance backstage on SmackDown last week.
I can, though. Hand me those.
What is it?
There's
These?
2 little red boxes. I don't know which one it is.
Sorry.
It's not this one.
Oh, my arm's getting stiff. Edward wants to know who is Roman Reigns' next opponent. I don't know. Oh. There's your impression of Liv Morgan, Robbie, by AI.
That was AI.
You know, I'm not sure who Roman Reigns' next opponent is.
We won't know until next year, I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that's not going to be started looking at until here after a month or 2. So he says, Logan Paul, he broke one rule. They told him not to do something with the belt. And of course he did that one thing.
Shower. Or go to bed with it with a girl.
Which one was it? What did he do? Take it everywhere with him? Drink with it? I mean, I don't know. Take it to other events?
Cole, don't talk shit about Chelsea Green when she's standing 3 feet in front of you wearing that. I have to watch the basketball game.
Come on, Piper. Kick her ass.
Impure thoughts. Watch the basketball game.
Poor Chelsea over there. Old Chelsea. Robbie's like, oh, D, you slay me with your humor.
Hey, that's a touchdown.
Robbie's like, dumpling rolling tonight. Versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. They're both champions.
No.
What are they going to win? Nothing?
Don't unify the championship again. We just had to have a new championship made.
Piccolo says, does AI know the perfect wrestling card?
No.
I don't think so. Maybe
it wouldn't know it.
I'm not sure what it would do to make the perfect wrestling card. Usually it'll say stuff and then it'll be like, what do you think is the perfect wrestling card?
Yeah, if you ask it too opinionated stuff, it'll like ask you your feedback first.
Mm-hmm.
But you can have conversations with it and build the best card.
Sophie says, LA Knight said in the promo, he isn't done with Roman. Edward says, Solo is just a street fighter, no title yet. John's like, Piper is going to be with Ravi in next Austin Powers movie. Wow,
yeah.
Amazing. I didn't know Ravi was going to be in the Austin Powers movie.
As mini me?
So,
Is that why it's funny?
Sophie says.
Well, I thought that was the joke.
Brock is scheduled to come back for the Rumble. It's trying to be all nice. Travis.
I was just saying what I thought people were. I thought that's what was funny about it. Why else would he be in the movie?
It's fine. We love you, Robbie. All your shortness included. Just a shortness full of rage. It's good. So he says Brock is scheduled to come back for the Rumble. Edward said Solo might betray Roman Reigns.
Look at, she got gold boots on.
Robbie says Dumpling gonna break that poor girl's neck. That's okay. Oh.
Uh-oh. She's gonna lose. Because she's distracting.
Well, she better not. Oh.
Oh, she's gonna lose.
That's dumb if she does.
See? Oh, she's by the rope. Well, no, she's in the ropes.
So it's like Pixar released a teaser trailer for Inside Out 2, which comes out next summer. You mentioned that last time, Sophie. John says Mini-Me passed, need a new one. Edward's like laughing, and Pickle's like, ask AI how to build the best championship path for Dominic Mysterio. Edward says Solo will definitely betray Roman Reigns. Pickle is smiling, laughing, and Robbie's like, John, that's very original, you idiot. John's laughing. Robbie,
There it is.
Travis said it first.
Well, I said it because I thought that was the joke. Not because it was the truth. Oh, did you miss? Yeah, you did. How do you miss an extra point?
Happens.
It does it?
Uh-huh. It happens a lot nowadays. It's pretty funny. Since they made him move back, they miss him more often now than they ever have. The stupidity of letting Tegan Nox win this is just stupid and horrific. Somebody go take a baton to her kneecap.
Oh my god.
Sophie's like, I could see Solo betray Roman so we could see them face one-on-one at a future pay-per-view. Edward says LA Knight can never beat Roman Reigns with or without the bloodline. And John says it was. He measures up. Sophie says if Solo does turn on Roman, who will Jimmy side with?
Well, let's hope that never happens because it would just make Solo insignificant. It would be over.
Yeah.
He would just be done. It'd just be like Sami Zayn.
True.
It's the same thing, and he has less talent than Sami Zayn.
Edward says Jimmy is not to be trusted. I am just freaking bored nowadays.
It happens. Just waste your life on TikTok. You'll be 50 before you know it. Or 60.
The Miz. Harley must have got lost getting their ice cream. Holy shit. Edward says that, and Sophie says LA Knight almost did beat Roman at that pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. I know. That guy's really broken. They got everybody running out there. What did he do? Dislocate his arm?
This guy?
No, the guy on the field crying. Like he's freaking out so bad they had people running out there like, oh my god, are you okay?
Probably broke his toenail. Oh.
Says the
Get
guy
the
with
chop off.
says the guy with paint on his face.
You are clever. Look at him, Mrs. Face.
Oh, look, it's that guy.
More of these guys. Maybe they should team those two up. He sure the hell doesn't sound like a Viking.
What's he
Sounds
supposed
like an attorney or something.
What's he supposed to sound like? Very uneducated and grunting?
Yeah.
You're mean. You're like, I need you to grunt, sir. You can't have a voice that actually doesn't match it. Miz left. He's like, I'm fucking done with this shit. They're like, where'd he go? Oh, God.
Oh, she wants some. About the
Yeah.
same size.
He's supposed to be 6 foot. Lies. Fucking lies, motherfuckers. No way that man's 6 foot.
She's 5'11".
I don't know how tall Sarah Logan is.
Uh-oh, here's do it yourself.
Hey, it's these rejects.
Oh, but it looks like
Yippee
it's just
skippity
Ciampa
doo
tonight.
Go away, bug.
He was like climbing on this wire. He like walked all the way down. Like, dude, go away.
Oh, God.
Ludwig.
I can't handle these people.
I like Ludwig.
I like Ludwig. I just don't like the 2 dipshits that are in the ring right now.
That's what I said. At least it's just one of them.
Edward says Jimmy will betray Roman and Solo will challenge Roman for the Universal title. Okay. Sophie says, do you think we could see Gunther versus Brock at Mania this year? Edward's like, what do you want me to do in TikTok? Just watch it. Just watch it forever.
You just
keep scrolling. Just never stop. Never stop scrolling. Chris says, Miz, you're still not better than Jericho, 10 times IC champ. Robbie's like, so Miz gonna win a title? Oh. John says, Harley and Cola come and ride with me on a fantastic voyage. Sophie says it looked like they were
better be ready when the 5 roll by.
setting up a Zoe versus Rhea feud for after Survivor Series. Pila says, just bring me to an aquarium. Robbie says Miz was one of the better IC title holders. Harley says, my girlfriend ate my ice cream sundae. That bitch. Pico says, and I'll bring some green apple blue raz edible rings.
What the?
Wow. Sophie says the NXT roster people see now might not be the ones they see when they move to the CW next year because some of them might finally be called up by then. Whoa, what?
Just the Bills running back right here. He burst in the lane.
Is he the one that got broken? Oh, number 4. He's like, oh, I almost went and then I tripped. Sad. Chris is like, Ludwig drip promo. Edward says John Cena had that match versus Solo, but went WWE trying to be like Hollywood now. Maybe Roman Reigns Rock came and I haven't heard from The Rock. He's licking his wounds from his stupidity with the Maui stuff. He's getting his ass handed to him for that shit. People are fucking pissed the fuck off at that dumb asshole. Chris says Ludwig versus Christian Cage promo battle. Sophie says, I'm way behind you guys. I'm still at the end of the Knox versus Piper match. You could fast forward through it. It doesn't matter. Robbie's like, Ciampa? How did he get TV time?
I would say rewind it and watch Chelsea come back out. But
well, that would be worth it, but not to watch the whole match. Be ridiculous. Just fast forward through it. I don't know. He ended up playing with Mr. Spaghetti Guy.
Did we have a question?
How to build the best championship path for Dominic Mysterio.
I don't know if it'll do that. How would you build the best championship path for Dominic Mysterio to become world champion? He probably doesn't even know Dominic Mysterio.
He does too.
I don't think he does.
He'll know who Dom is.
He won't. He'll be like,
Crafting a championship path for a wrestler like Dominic Mysterio
See, he knew
would
who he was.
involve a blend of storytelling, careful match planning, and audience engagement. Here's a conceptual pathway to the World Championship. 1. Establish a strong foundation. Start with Dominic honing his skills and showcasing his talent through wins against mid-card wrestlers. This would build his credibility as a singles competitor. 2. Character development. Develop his character with more depth. This could involve a storyline where he steps out of his father's shadow, perhaps turning against Rey Mysterio, to establish himself as a standalone star.
they did that.
Feuds and storylines. Have Dominic involved in a significant feud against a well-established wrestler. A win in this feud, particularly if it's against a former world champion or a respected veteran, would elevate his status. Number 4, title shots. Next, move Dominic into the picture for a secondary title like the Intercontinental or United States Championship.
The
Winning and
NXT
holding one of these titles
North
would further
American
validate his
Championship.
championship potential. Number 5, momentum building. Keep the momentum going with successful title defenses, engaging promos, and high-stakes matches. He should also participate in marquee events like Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble to showcase his abilities on a bigger stage. 6, main event scene. Gradually transition Dominic into the main event scene, where he can start having non-title matches against world champions or number 1 contenders, proving he can hang with the top-tier talent. 7, the big turn or major win.
Damn.
Consider a major
Is it top
storyline
10?
twist or a significant victory, such as winning the Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank, which would naturally lead to a world title
Number
shot.
13.
8, the championship match. Build a compelling narrative leading to a major event like WrestleMania or SummerSlam, where Dominic would face the world champion. The story should be personal and high stakes, ideally culminating in a passing of the torch moment. The aftermath. After winning the championship, solidify Dominic's title reign with strong rivalries and memorable matches. This is crucial for establishing his legacy as a champion. Throughout this journey, it's vital to listen to the audience's reaction and adjust the path as necessary. Fan support is critical in wrestling, and sometimes plans need to change to keep the audience invested in a wrestler's championship quest. Would you like to discuss more about wrestling storylines or another aspect of wrestling?
There you go.
That's how Dominic becomes world champion. By the way, all that stuff is happening, so this is kind of scary.
Oh no! AI is telling us what's really happening. Edward says, Roman Reigns, when are you losing the title? And John says, Harley, next time break out the Cool Whip. Open up Pandora's box, you lucky bastard. Sophie says, if Hulk Hogan does go to AEW, I could see the WWE want Roman to pass Hulk Hogan's championship reign. Hulk Hogan's not going to go to AEW, Sophie. He can barely walk.
He's crippled.
He's not going to go anywhere.
Oh, I didn't.
He's not going to wrestle. Oh my God, what'd you
How's that
do?
a thing?
Oh no, it's doubled. I'm seeing Kaiser's ass twice.
Why are you looking at it?
Because it's right there in the way of the camera. Piccolo says, so I went and cooked some short ribs and veggies in the Instapot earlier, and it was fantastic. Fantastic, Piccolo. I cooked a small
Time is
roast,
it
and
now?
it's 7:28, and some rice and gravy. That's what I had for dinner. Edward says, I hate Dominic. Sophie says, if Dominic wins the world championship one day, that will be some channel flipping. Sophie says, it is interesting that Dana White hinted at WWE UFC crossover pay-per-view this past weekend. People's like, interesting. AI could be head writer. You never know.
That's probably how they wrote the story for him.
Probably. That's probably how they all do their writing now. Yet they're fighting to stay writers because they use the AI to make their stories. Hypocritical. Sophie says on Twitter, people are asking what would have happened if Kevin Nash and Scott Hall didn't jump ship to WCW. Would they have been anything?
That's a good question. Really is a good question, by the way.
John's like, his AI question is like, who would take longer to walk to the ring? Hogan or Flair? Ask AI that question. And Robbie says, Dee, did you ever find out what happened to the hockey player that died?
He died.
Well, the guy died.
Did you ever find out what happened to the hockey player that died? Well, the guy
he
died.
Well, he died. Which is sad. And now they're changing their rules for the teams over there for hockeys over there in the Europe.
You can't thrust
That
kick?
No, they didn't say that. They only said that they're going to require all of their hockey players to now wear neck guards again. That it is now a standard issue of their uniforms to play hockey. That they have to wear a neck guard. And it's like, maybe what they should do is ban people
From
thrust kicking at people with their sharp ass skates. And if you do that shit, You're either fucking fired, suspended, investigated, because he does that shit on purpose a lot. I guess he's really known for like
Dirty
play and has the most out of any European hockey player, has been in the penalty box the most and does that shit all the time. Whether or not he's seriously injured somebody before, I don't know. But I mean, he fucking killed a guy. Like, the guy killed a guy.
It's like Brick killed a guy.
So, yeah.
Stabbed him in the heart with a trident.
Sliced his throat with a hockey skate. Fuck.
The figure skate.
That one move.
Right. He tried the lotus.
He tried the lotus.
The flying lotus.
He tried the flying lotus.
He got him with the flying lotus.
Oh, man. We're going to hell. Seth was like, wonder how many of Sting's friends will show up on AEW TV for Sting's retirement tour.
4. At least 4.
All the ones that aren't dead, maybe.
The Ultimate Warrior will come. They'll bring his
Isn't he
urn.
dead?
They'll bring his urn.
They're going to have a seance in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, we're going to hell. We already paved
I
the
think
way.
we are already on the bus. Pickle is laughing, and Sophie's like, if Kevin Nash and Scott Hall didn't jump to WCW, there would be no Stone Cold Vince McMahon The Rock on WWE TV. How do you know? You don't know.
Well, WCW had Stone Cold, but his name was Stunning Steve, and they didn't like him, so he left.
Yeah.
And then the...
So Stone Cold had already left to WWE TV.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash going to WCW had nothing to do with that, so.
I mean, nobody wanted to see Stunning Steve Austin with his girl.
Hair?
He was weird. No, he had a girl with him, too, but yeah.
Oh.
I never liked Stone Cold. And so, it's funny that, like, everybody knows my past in wrestling. I watched WCW, and then sometimes during commercials, I turned it to WWE, WWF, and it wasn't very good, in my opinion, so I only watched during commercials sometimes. But they went to sex, and when they went to sex, then you had to watch it, you know, and then you'd flip it back and forth, and they always did the sex in the main event. Like, so Sable was out there in the main event or whatever. So it was pretty good days back in those times. But I just had a hard time. And so when Steve Austin left, you got to remember Steve Austin was garbage. Chris Jericho was garbage. Eddie Guerrero was garbage. Rey Mysterio was garbage. Not garbage, but they were mid-carders.
Yeah.
And they all got let go, you know. WCW didn't want them. And so then they go to WWF, and WWF didn't have any talent. And so they pushed these guys, you know, just basically like what Tony Khan's doing. And then all of a sudden they're like these superstars. But Vince pushed them to championships, where Tony Khan just puts them on TV, but he doesn't actually
Do
put
anything else with
championships
them.
on them.
Robbie's like, hell probably has better facilities. It might. John says, skates too sharp. Team's fault. What the hell? Pickle's like, Sophie has a DeLorean and patented the flux capacitor.
Hell
Sophie
yeah.
says, Nitro wouldn't beat Raw for 83 weeks. John's like, Lady Blossom. It was Steve's wife. Her name was Lady Blossom?
Steve, what?
What?
Like Mongo McMichael's wife? Or are you talking about his real wife? Because I know he took Mongo McMichael's wife from him. Those wrestling and they're bringing their wives there is just a bad idea. Hogan wouldn't even allow his wife to be in the building. He's like, no.
No. Robbie's like, Nitro, that was an hour show. John's like, Austin. Steve Austin's wife. Pico's like, I remember her. John, nice shout. Lady Blossom. Pico says, she's a completely different blonde valet.
Mm-hmm. I remember her. I just don't remember her. Come on, Kaiser, get the job done.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Is it 8 to 9?
It's 9 to 8. Broncos,
So they went for 2?
I guess.
It's weird. The Broncos got destroyed by the Dolphins. And when I say got destroyed, I mean got destroyed. They lost about 80 or some shit. 70 or 80 points.
Wow. Yeah.
And since then, they've been pretty good.
Feels like Precious was Jimmy Garvin's white girl in NWA.
Precious. I love
John's
Precious.
like, yep. And Peel's like, man, I hated the Freebirds back then.
Oh, I loved them. Oh, loved them. Michael P.S. Hayes. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. And Ronnie Garvin, by the way, is his brother. And Ronnie Garvin was Hands of Stone. And I liked him, too. I remember when he beat Ric Flair for the world title.
Sophie says, I wish I had a time machine.
Yeah, what would you do? I'd abuse it. I'd do all sorts of stupid shit.
I'm going to go see dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it would have to
I
be
better
like...
make sure I bring some fuel with me so I don't get
Well, that's
stuck.
the thing. Like, of course, if it's a DeLorean, that sucks. Right? Because you have to have roads and shit. Where we're going, we don't need roads. But it would probably get broke. But if it was like a tube or a doorway you could just walk through and then walk back,
Yeah.
that would be cool. Because then you wouldn't have to worry about getting stuck or anything. He did it!
Thanks to what's-his-face,
Ludwig.
Giovanni coming
There
back and
is
beating up Mr.
no
Spaghetti Pants.
Excuse for losing.
Mr. Spaghetti Pants. John says, nope, Ronnie was his stepfather.
It's stepfather.
Pickle says, unlike one of my first VHS videos was 1988 Great American Bash with the Triple Tower of Doom.
Oh, are you talking about the 3 cages on top of each other?
Probably.
Did they do that back then? I thought that didn't even come... What year?
1988.
I thought that didn't even come out until the mid-90s. Wasn't that... What's his name?
Sophie says, how much of a career Sting would have had if he went to the WWE a lot earlier than he did?
Who knows?
John's like, but brother in storyline. Picola says, and Kevin Sullivan was trying to assault Precious. And spoiler alert, the Road Warriors came and saved her.
Oh, yeah.
Robbie's like, that was a decent little match, LOL.
Yeah. I love watching
It was
Ciampa
decent
lose.
and you laughed about it. So I'm guessing not as good as you say. Guess Andrade was on Collision,
They
huh?
had to leave the building.
I thought they were supposed to leave the building too, but maybe it was just the arena area. He's like, great. You know what? I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to be friends. Bye.
It does sound good for war games. Let him go in first. Let him be first to start. He's the biggest guy anyway. Lana up on Collision up there. Looking good. She's with Andrade.
That's weird. Don't accept him because once you do, they'll get rid of you.
He earned that.
They're going to have to make room on their little shirts for the weirdo kid, JD.
Oh, God.
I don't
They'll
think
have
they're
to
going to
use
be able
the
to
whole
because his
bat.
head's so big.
They'll have to use the whole bat.
I know. How are they going to get him on there? It's Xia Li.
Xia Li! That finally we get that match. Is this like against Becky?
I don't know. But I'm okay with it. Whatever it is.
I don't think she should have prison jinx. I'm just saying. Although she can dress like this anytime she wants. I have seen Big Trouble in Little China. Kids,
John-
don't stick your hands out there.
Right? John says, my first VHS was North Pole Volume 3. Oh, you meant wrestling. My bad. Pickle's like, I'm absolutely happy that Sting is the most talented anti-WWE performer. Sophie says, if I had a time machine, I probably would change some history stuff.
Can't change history. If you change history, you might not be born.
It's true. You have to be very careful about what you do.
You can't even step on a bug.
It's called the butterfly effect. Gotta be careful. Chris says, Zaya looking so hot tonight. Oh, God, it's against Indy.
Well, Indy's going to lose.
Well, she better fucking lose. Let's put it that way.
Well, Zaya's getting pushed to Becky.
Well,
If you're getting pushed to Becky, you're not losing to Indy. I don't know why Indy's even on the main
sure.
roster. Hey, look, a Denver miss. No, he made it. He just
Barely.
snuck it in. Just snuck it in.
John's like, can't alter history. So he's like, Cody is competing inside his father's creation War Games next Saturday. John's like, come on, Sophie. Robbie's like, this woman is scaring the crowd with the traditional Japanese dancing. Pico's like,
Chinese.
Rick and Morty is amazing. You know, I've heard that, Pico. I should just watch it. I don't think you liked it when we were kind of watching it, that Rick and Morty show.
I liked it.
Did you?
McKenna made me watch it all the time. I think it's funny. It's weird, but it's funny.
What the fuck is wrong with her? Why is she... That coat, no.
You didn't like the big
No,
marshmallow? Oh, shit.
It looks terrible. How awful.
Yeah, you need like a North Face that's tight.
Or a non-puffy jacket. Even a Columbia jacket or some shit.
Oh.
What's awesome is they already have a Cody Rhodes action figure. Do you think they made one for AEW? Is he a collector figurine in AEW now because he's
Probably.
not there anymore? So if he says, I probably would want to meet my dad's dad because he passed away when I was younger. I
good
can see
idea.
that. People's like, so the trend is all the women's wrestlers are like the United Nations? Yes. That is the trend, Pico. You figured it out.
Did we have a question?
Nope. Anybody got an AI question before the commercial's over? Sophie says Rhea doesn't have a match scheduled for Survivor Series yet. Robbie says Rick and Morty has a lot of adult jokes. Yes, it does have a lot of adult jokes. John says they are in D.C.
Look at
That
that.
arena is 3 blocks from Biden mental ward. Oh, God, not the mental ward.
Denver just got an interception.
Sophie says, what is a VHS don't start? And Pico's like, da-dum-dum. John's laughing and, dude, where's my carp? I don't know. Where's your fish? Says, I'm ready for the Viper to return. Yeah, I think a lot of people want him to return. Let's hope he's able to. Let's hope he really is, like, able to come back. And it's not just fake crap happening.
Voices in my head and they count to me. Then his music. People will be like, yeah, wee, 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 wee. That's what the fans do.
Sophie says, or change stuff that won't have major implications. But anything you change can have major implications, Sophie. Dude says CM Punk as well. Yeah? You want CM Punk to return? You and Picola have a beautiful conversation with each other. John's like, Sophie, what's a cassette tape? What's a TV?
Why do they call it a boob tube?
What's a bra? What's a hairdo?
Or as my mom says, a haircut.
What's a history? John, what's a radio? Feels like Sophie, what's a Zabruder film? Zabruder film.
I know what that is. Kennedy! Execution.
Oh,
It's edited. Kennedy shot first.
that bastard.
That's on that show you watched.
Sophie says Becky Lynch was on Celebrity Jeopardy last night.
Did she win it all?
And Ravi says LOD has a great hairdo.
With her woman brain?
Dude says, what's a cult of personality? You and Picola get along. Pico's like, Kennedy! Sophie says, I've never heard of a Zabruder film.
It's Kennedy's assassination.
It's called History. You should look into it, but not go there.
It's been edited because Kennedy shot first.
That bastard.
I saw it on Pixels.
Yeah. Totally.
Indy Hartwell goes right after Zaya. How is Indy a wrestler? Like, how is this even, like...
I have no idea.
Anybody even remotely care about Indy Hartwell as a wrestler?
Pico's like, it's the 50th anniversary of JFK assassination. No, it's not. It's like the 25th. Stop.
That just happened like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I was like, it only happened.
It was like in 62, 63.
Yeah, that was only like...
30 years ago.
Yeah, seriously, Pico, stop. John's like, what's history? Whatever they make it to be anymore, John.
It's a weird synapse in our head that lets us know that something has happened. It's basically a protection mechanism. Most animals don't have it. Like, if you went and talked to a deer, they wouldn't know who killed Kennedy. Or a guy named
Or
Kennedy.
who killed their mom.
Yeah.
Pico's like, that's wild. Oh, maybe 60th. No, that's silly. Never heard that. Pico, it's wrong. You're mathing all wrong. So he says Randy Orton does come back. I could see it happening on Survivor Series night. Ravi's like, isn't some history built on lies?
How about this? History is written by the winners.
History is stories
Now
that
ask
you
yourself-
perceive however you perceive them as.
Now ask yourself, is it real or not? Because only winners write history. The losers don't get a chance to write it.
I mean, they tell their stories, but...
Yeah, when they're dead.
People's like, how would we know about anything unless ancestors wrote diaries or sang songs?
Exactly.
It's true.
Like Homer. If Homer wouldn't have been such a good
Storyteller.
we wouldn't have known about Troy. And
They got passed down until they could write it.
Until they sat there and made an alphabet.
John says, depends on who you ask.
Have you heard an Australian do the alphabet?
Oh, God, no. Do I want to?
It's the funniest thing you'll ever hear in your life. Look, she injured her too.
Oh, good. She broke her? Good. People's like, welcome to philosophy. Yeah, Pickle is laughing. Philosophy.
Instead of doing this, why don't they just cut him?
So they won't let him lose. So they're like, well, we don't want you to get pinned or anything. So we're just going to have her injure you, but not really. Jesus Christ. John says, who would you believe about the Kennedys? Who tells the truth?
I feel like...
There's the guy on the grassy knoll. That motherfucker will tell you the truth.
I know for a fact where the shot came from. It came from the gutter. And not only that, because they can easily just pinpoint how it happened. There's footage of it. The cop that's walking down the street next to the car, everybody looks that way. The cop looks right down at the ground because he heard the shot. And he's like, so he looked down. Why would he look that way and not towards where the shots are supposedly coming from? That's all I got to say.
Robbie's like, so what about fossils? Is there any truth in that?
Of course there is. I mean, it's a dead thing in a rock.
So he says, if you live in Florida, history isn't allowed in schools.
That's not true.
Sophie,
They
don't
teach history in school.
tell
Not false
stories.
histories, though.
Don't. No. We're not going to project propaganda of nothingness in here. Robbie's like, that's a shitty ending. A shitty ending for Xia Li.
Yeah. My time, I told you. I'm translating.
That's good, because I wouldn't have understood. Piccolo says, ask AI if aliens came to Earth, what would they think about our obsession of celebrity and social media status? Would they even know what that is? I mean, aliens? Would they even take the time to, like, do that kind of research?
They probably are right now.
They're probably...
They're watching
They probably
us 'cause
are
we're
AI
fascinating.
and social media. well, let's give him this and see what happens. Oh, look at them all. Weird little ants doing weird shit, losing their minds over stupid stuff. John says, I remember seeing that. Was 3 shots, I think. The Miz.
Oh, yeah. When you watch him get off the plane and get into the limo, and then his security unit, the guy that always walks to the right of his car gets called back from the car back. He gets called back, and he turns around and he says, like, get the fuck away from me. Like, I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Done this every time. And his captain or whatever makes him come back to the car. And so when they're driving down the road, his security guy that usually is standing right there isn't there.
Oh.
Like, I mean, come on.
Huh.
And you could see the dude. And then when the shot happens, he's the guy that goes running and jumps on the back of the car and then gets in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he should have been there. But he got called off.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, all time.
Chris Jericho.
Ooh.
2 rings.
Yeah. Not Survivor Series.
Reed.
John's like, they would say, take us to your leader and wander around clueless. Pickle says they probably think Kim Kardashian is royalty or some ish. Sophie says the co-creator of The Simpsons said that Homer will still choke Bart. Congratulations, good. And Robbie says, ha, Becky with the big chat, but Xia Li made her look like mug with egg on her face. Yadiel Garcia in the chat. Hey, Yadiel says, Randy Orton. Chris says Gunther destroys Miz. Robbie says Miz is not as good without a title. And Sophie says the Kennedys are known as the presidents that get shot.
The family that gets shot. I don't know about the presidents. There's only been one. His brother was running for president when he was assassinated. Mm. And then John F. Kennedy's son died in a plane wreck.
Yeah, and one of them ran into a tree skiing.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure one of the Kennedys ran into a tree skiing.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Now there's a Kennedy running this year, too. See how that works out for him. I actually don't mind him.
He's pretty funny, actually. Robbie says, shout out to the Hispanic crew in the chat.
What the fuck?
What? What happened? Did you want to ask your AI alien question?
You ready? Go.
If aliens came to Earth, what would they think about our obsession of celebrity and social media status? Robbie was like that, and Sophie says, in Florida, the governor
Aliens came
stinks.
to Earth.
Piccolo
It's
knows
intriguing
why.
to consider what they might think.
Sophie, we're not
about
going to
our
play that
obsession
game tonight.
with celebrity and social media status. Their views would depend on their own cultural norms and societal values, which could be vastly different from ours. They might see it as a curious aspect of human culture, where individuals elevate others based on their talents, roles, or media presence. To them, our fascination with celebrities might reflect human social dynamics and the importance of storytelling and entertainment in our society. Regarding social media, they could be intrigued by how we use technology to create complex social networks and how status is often measured by online engagement and followers. They might see it as a double-edged sword, recognizing its power in connecting people worldwide, while also noting the potential for it to create unrealistic standards and echo chambers. Ultimately, without knowing the aliens' psychological framework or societal constructs, it's a bit of a mystery how they would interpret our behaviors. But it's a fun thought experiment to consider how our societal norms might look to an outside observer. What's your take on it?
I was like, Ms. Defo winning. John's like, they wouldn't be surprised in anything we do. Probably not.
It's hilarious. I feel like that was a lazy answer.
Well, of course it was. What kind of an answer can it give with an unknown entity?
I think it's also biased. It should blast some of those things, but it can't. And so it answered it very PC.
Yeah, because how could you blast social media and celebrities when you're made by it? Mm-hmm. Literally, that thing's made with fucking social media and shit.
They might think it's so important.
Pico's like, yep, they would just zap and evaporate us, just like in Mars Attacks. I love that fucking movie. That movie's fucking stupid funny.
That's one I have to watch.
Mars Attacks!
Because I've only seen the part... I've only seen the part where she's all sexy and she comes into the White House and she's like... Or wherever she's at. And she's like floating and she goes in the room. That's the only part I've ever seen. And Brett talks about how damn funny it is.
I was like, so aliens exist, I guess. You know what? Illegal ones. Totally. Sophie says, I'll be surprised if The Miz does somehow beat Gunther at Survivor Series. And John says, it's safe to say there are way more advanced than us. Light years.
I would say, to be honest, if there is a such thing as aliens and they were to ever visit here, they would be AI. They would be artificial intelligence. And the reason is because I don't think that there's any biological life form that could survive how long it would take for them to get here.
Why is that guy's pants so far up?
I don't know what you're watching.
The collision thingy, Mitchiker?
Which
The guy that's
the
in the ring
dinosaur?
in the blue short things? Why are they so far up his body?
Just because it's sexy. That's what they used to do in like the 80s.
Ew. Gross.
That's that one guy. He's pretty funny.
Rob is like, can AI do an impression of D? No. Pico says you would enjoy it. Travis, Jim Brown's in it.
That's funny.
Mars Attacks is just goofy funny. It's just a stupid movie, but it's funny as shit.
Yeah, Brett talks about it all the time.
Does he?
There's like some song that they play that makes our heads explode or something. It's like some old country song or something.
I can't remember. It's like a yodeling, almost like a yodeling. It's like some guy. It's like a famous singer, and the old lady's like it's our favorite thing. It's pretty funny. So he's like, I think aliens think the same way as God regarding that question. Mars Attacks is a funny movie. John's like, Biden is an alien, has to be, no doubt.
Wouldn't God be an alien?
I would think so.
Isn't that where we got God from? Isn't that like the whole ancient alien theory?
So if it says Mars Attacks, I think came out around the same time as Independence Day movie. I don't know when it came out.
I just didn't watch it because it had Jack Nicholas or whatever his name is. Jack Nicholson or Mickelson.
Mars Attacks?
Yeah.
He's the president, and he's not in it enough for it to matter.
I just never liked him in the 90s. So any show that had him in it, I'd basically pass. Now I'm different. I watched it, like I said. That hotel one that he's in wasn't bad. I should put my earpiece in so I know what's happening.
So now Jack's making fun of him. It's pretty funny.
Oh, you cowards. What the? She just got there.
Ooh, test it. So he's like, there are people that think God is a woman.
That would make sense if you believe in the Bible.
God is everything. So I don't know
How
what
would he
you
get
guys are
Mary
flipping
pregnant
about.
if it's a woman? Get in there, Rack Rod. Take her out. Lift her up. Give her a backbreaker.
Give her a tiger. John's like, Mork is an alien. Nanu, nanu.
Is that Mork and Mindy? Mm-hmm.
Chris says this black shirt look is cool.
You know, the only show I ever liked in the 80s that I can remember was Perfect Strangers.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't remember any of them, so I could probably watch it now and be fine. I just remember there was a guy named Balky Batacamus and Larry. Mm-hmm. Or maybe not. Maybe Larry was in the three that lived together.
Three's Company?
Three's Company, yeah. Because
So
that's his friend, Larry.
So it says, any plans for Thanksgiving dinner?
No.
Not yet.
I'll probably just eat a lot of turkey. So I'm sick. And then fall asleep. Next surgery. All right, this match is underway. This is Miz and Eric, or Ivar, sorry.
Pico says you never enjoyed Magnum PI or the A-Team.
Loved the A-Team. Never watched Magnum PI.
Robbie says Nia is a fraudulent, just acts tough.
I forgot about that. I also liked The Incredible Hulk, but I thought those were 70s shows. So, And there was another one called Blue Thunder. Liked Blue Thunder also. And then there's a show called Airwolf, but I never watched Airwolf. I liked Blue Thunder better.
What
because
about
I was a little kid.
one with a car that talks?
Knight Rider.
Knight Rider. Shaquille Khan in the chat. Hey, Shaquille. Nice to see you tonight. Says, hello, I am new subscriber.
Woo!
Yay, new subscriber. Cool beans, man. How's it going tonight?
Good to see you in here. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, by the way. And we'll be here this weekend for the Full Gear
Yeah.
pay-per-view, and then next weekend for the WWE pay-per-view. But since you're a subscriber, introduce yourself to the people in the chat. They're pretty cool.
John says Magnum PI, A-Team, MacGyver, Miami Vice. MacGyver. That was the one we watched in our house a lot.
I'd never really watched
Columbo, MacGyver.
Quantum Leap, but I think that was like early 90s.
I don't
It could have
remember
been
when
80s.
that one was.
Anyways, if you have a question, we ask AI a question during commercials. So if you have an AI question, I'll ask AI a question during the commercial break.
Pico says, oh my God, forgot about David Hasselhoff. Old David Hasselhoff.
That shit's the greatest.
Chris says McGruber.
Oh, Lord. Miz is just under 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks away from Survivor Series, the match of his career, and he's getting beat up by Ivar. He's got sandwiched. He's into sandwiches.
Terrifying.
Yeah, Raven Skulls. Not the Raven Skull. What's wrong?
Nothing. Oh, Ravi says, bring back the Little House on the Prairie. Oh, jeez.
Dude, you know, so that's on TV on a channel that I watch, and I can't watch it. I've tried, and I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like, I don't know how you could watch it. It is so weird and slow, and maybe it's a lot of storytelling and you have to watch from the first episode or something. But I'm like, oh.
Shaquille says Miz versus Gunther. My prediction is Gunther.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Gunther. Ivar kicks out. Miz almost had him right there.
Chris is like, AI question, if you wear sunglasses, does that make you a WrestleMania main eventer?
Yes.
Pickle says, I think there's a lot of shows with nostalgic glasses that seemed way better. Robbie's like, I'm taking the piss.
Yes.
That show is bad. John says, we had no choice. 5 channels back then. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, John, you had 5. Damn.
Yeah, we had 3, sometimes 4. I never watched PBC or whatever it's called.
PBS?
PBS.
We didn't even get it. How weird is that?
Right? Well, where I'm at, you could get it. The problem is it never had anything good on it.
Right.
It had the cartoon stuff in the morning, but it's not even cartoons. It was like Sesame Street and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it has like Caillou and Teletubbies or whatever the hell it has. I don't know what's on there now. McKenna's almost 18, so
Like, well, honey, for nostalgia's sake, let's watch PBS cartoons and see what's on there. Just kidding.
Caillou.
Pickle says, I remember Alf being my fave show as a kid.
Yeah, because he would like chase the cat all the time. But I don't remember any episode. Do you remember there was also a show that came on and it was dinosaurs? And they were all dinosaurs that hung out and they talked. And it was like the Flintstones, but they were dinosaurs.
Not the baby.
There was a baby.
The baby dinosaur?
There was one.
I'm pretty sure it was just called Dinosaurs.
Yeah. It's a good show.
Not the mama! Not the mama! I hated the dad so bad. Not the mama! The baby dinosaur! Not the mama!
That's funny that you know any of it. I have no clue. I know it has like the saddest ending of any series like ever. Because they're all gonna die.
Because they make it have the
And it's like there's like
the whatever.
an eternal winter's coming, and it's just snowing outside, and then the kid asked the dad if it's gonna be light again, and he said no. And so they're basically just gonna starve to death. They'll eat you first, kid.
Feels like says that. John says 3 local, 1 PBS, 1 UHF. Ravi says 5 channels with better choices of channels. Chris says Popeye the Sailor Man. Ravi says, I remember that dinosaur show. Chris is like, I hated that motherfucking dinosaur. I always wanted the bad dinosaur to destroy that little dinosaur.
I don't remember it enough.
I don't know. Hand me my phone.
Yeah, I don't remember it enough to... I just remembered that it was a show. But like the A-Team, I love the A-Team. And Knight Rider. I was trying to watch Knight Rider last year. I was trying to watch all the episodes of it. I think I got like 5 episodes in before I stopped. But it's pretty good. It's decent. Yeah, I know what they look like and stuff.
It was called
I
Dinosaurs.
just don't remember what they
It was
said.
in the 90s.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 91 to 94.
Damn. Never mind. It's not even an 80s show.
There was an animated one called Dino Riders in the 80s. But other than that, there wasn't really anything.
No, it was that creepy one. Tell me why.
Not the mama.
Yeah. Good stuff. 80s stuff. Yeah, things were way better when you were a kid watching it, because now if you try to watch it, it's a nostalgia box that it should be stored in.
Yes.
'Cause when you go back
Forever
to
and
watch
never
it-
look at it and be like, no, thank you.
Like Perfect Strangers, I'll go to watch it and be like, what the fuck? Another one that I really liked when it first started, this is in the 90s, and it was probably in the late 90s, maybe even early 2000s. It was called, was it Dharma and Greg? And he was an attorney. He was like this wealthy attorney, and he had like upper, class parents and stuff. And then he meets this girl on the subway, and she's this pretty blonde, but she's into what's your sign and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And they end up getting married like that day. Like they meet and then they get married in a rush. And her parents are like these hippies. That show is freaking fantastic. I watched that.
Dharma and Greg?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was called.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
But that's how
it.
they met. Was like just on a subway and they got married. And then they had to meet each other's parents. And
That's fun. Chris is like Land Before Time. That's a completely different traumatizing event.
that's not traumatizing.
Whatever.
It's like a child show.
It's traumatizing.
Which part of the mom dying?
Of course.
The
Of
T-Rex?
course. It was so fucking sad. John's like Battlestar Galactica. Rob, I would probably cry. If we watched The Land Before Time, I would cry. Fox and the Hound, I would cry. Bambi, I would cry. E.T., I would probably cry.
I've seen
I
you
think I
cry.
have cried.
I've seen you cry during AT.
don't watch those movies anymore because I'm like, I don't want to cry. All it takes is All Dogs Go to Heaven. Another one that'll make me cry. All it fucking takes with a Fox and the Hound is when I can't even say it. I can't even say it. Can't even say it. That's how bad it is. It's like traumatizing for my childhood. And it's funny because Ravi wouldn't know because he doesn't watch Disney, so he would have no clue whatsoever. But it's when they have them when they're little. The Fox and the Hound are little, and they're like saying at the end of the show, "We'll be friends forever, won't we?" And they're not. They're not friends forever. It's all lies. Yeah. So yeah.
So they don't ever become back friends again?
No. So. You've never watched it?
I don't think so.
Okay, I can't tell you. We'll have to watch it. I will cry the whole fucking thing, but we will watch. We will fucking watch.
Do you need it? It's his shit.
Stop!
The fuck's that?
Stop it.
Now I know why he won't watch The Notebook.
Oh my god, that I would never watch. That would not make me cry. That's fucking stupid fucking shit. Animated crap with animals though? By golly, I will cry.
What were we watching the other day and I noticed that you were getting upset about, and it was something that was like...
Probably really stupid.
It was something like... It didn't even make sense. I was like, is she upset about that?
Anyways, we are watching a match and Miz is cheating. He cheated! He cheated bad, too. It's not like he put his feet on the ropes. He put his motherfucking feet on the top ropes.
Yeah.
Holy
a lot more
shit.
leverage doing that.
Anyways, John's like Battlestar Galactica. Never really watched
I
that.
never watched that one. I wouldn't know much about it, but that's cool. I mean, I've heard about
Robbie
it.
says, who was the driver of the van in the A-Team?
Mr. T. He always drove it. Bronson Reed attacks Ivar.
Shaquille says Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Judgment Day for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. My prediction, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Yeah, I think they're going to be
Champs again,
again.
The hell of a
John's
prediction.
like B.A. Baracus, Mr. T. Piccolo says, was there a show you hated because your siblings liked?
No, my sibling's so much older than me that I...
Are you talking like TV shows? No. Like, movies? Yes. But only because he would watch them over and over and over and over and over again. I really hated Superman for the longest time.
Care Bears. Stormy was really into the Care Bears, but it wasn't terrible.
Right.
And it was only a half hour or whatever.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, there wasn't, like, shows, like TV shows, because my brother was really into MacGyver, but I didn't mind MacGyver. It was interesting.
My grandma loved
That I don't
MacGyver.
care, you know, and stuff like that. But movies, oh my God. Movies, ugh. My brother was obsessed with watching the same movie over and over and over and over and over again. And then he'd go on to the next one and watch it over and over and over and over. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, I had movies I really liked too that I would watch all the time, but I never watched the same one over and over and over and over and over again. I would like watch one and then watch another one and then I'd watch another one and then I'd go back and maybe watch them again, but I would never like every day watch the same one. It was pretty funny. Let's see. We have someone in your chat that doesn't speak English and I can't say their name. Mopnara. Thanks for being in our chat. Sorry. English only if you want me to say hi, but hi, thanks for being here. Robbie says, I never found Dharma and Greg funny. And Robbie says, shout out to the Russian crew in the chat, right? And John says, no cola because I was the remote control. My brother hated wrestling. He didn't get a choice.
That's funny.
Chris says, she drives off on that MF, LOL. Pickle is crying, and Robbie's like, D, I do know what you're talking about, even though Disney isn't my thing. Pickle says, never-ending story with Atreyu. Okay, so I never watched Neverending Story because it creeps me out. Like, it is...
Ever seen The Dark Crystal?
No, they just creep me out. Yeah, that one will do. They creep me out, so I do not watch them.
There it is. Look.
And not because, like...
He's in the Judgment Day. It's official.
I'm freaked out by puppets or anything, but I find Neverending Story weird because it's, like, cartoony, yet people, and it's just weird to me. Pickle says, yes, and Robbie says, I'm sure Hannibal drove the van sometimes.
Absolutely, he did.
Chris says, Power Rangers. That was your show, huh? You hate it because your siblings liked it.
I like the Power Rangers.
The Power Rangers. Yeah, I
didn't know any of them. But
it was really hard because, like, we didn't...
What was the cats? Battle Cats?
Battle Cats.
Thundercats. Thundercats. That one was
Thundercats. Ho!
He-Man.
Those are cartoons, and they came on only Saturdays, and then you had cartoons like after school you could watch.
Yeah, like DuckTales.
So the thing is like I said, I grew up with only like literally a couple of channels. Like we had 2 channels that maybe came in okay.
Right.
Like that you could actually watch, one specifically, and the other one was kind of okay.
Sometimes.
From Antenna and Rabbit Ears. But that was it. So, our show watching, we just didn't. Like, it was not something in my household that we really did. Like, we had TV time as a family, and it was one station, and that was it. So, if there were, like, popular shows during that time, I mean, like, there were 2 shows on at the same time, Dallas and Dynasty. Mm-hmm. Were on at the same time. And they were on 2 separate channels. One was on ABC and one was on NBC, I think. Or CBS.
Right.
One or the other. Anyways, one of those main stations. One was on one and one was on the other one. Well, we only got one station. And everybody at my dad's work watched Dallas. And my mom could only watch Dynasty. And she always called it Dynasty. But she would watch it, but we never did. Like, as kids, I seriously have no idea anything about those shows.
I don't have much.
I know some of it because of getting older and, like, people talking about them. But I never, because it came on later, and we weren't allowed, we were like, go to bed. Like, your bedtime was blah, blah, blah. Go in your, whether or not you went to bed, it was go to your room kind of stuff. So, yeah. So our TV, like, watching was literally,
I think
like,
Dynasty had the
family stuff.
The girl that's really famous.
Joan Collins?
Joan Collins. And then Dallas had JR.
Yeah.
That was kind of, I don't know who he is as an actor.
Don't know either.
I just know that was the...
But I knew that Joan Collins because I remember her. That's why it was so vivid when I did that thing with...
Money in the Bank.
Yeah. For Money in the Bank. Because I was like, oh, like Joan Collins. From Dynasty. But, so we were, weird. Right, I was like, I'll go on D with the Thundercats impressions. Heck yeah. John's like, G.I. Joe knowing is half the battle. Robbie's like, TV time as a family. Go on, D.
Oh, I want to watch.
Well, we had one TV in the whole house. What do you want?
Next goal wins.
When you only have one TV in the whole house, what the fuck do you think you do? If you want to watch TV, you're going to be watching TV with your parents. John's like, everyone watched Dallas. My family did not. We didn't get it. We didn't have that channel. So my mom watched Dynasty instead. I can't remember what nights it came on, like Fridays or
Sundays.
Sunday maybe or something.
Sunday night.
We would watch
maybe not.
I don't think it was Sunday.
It could have been Monday night.
It had to have been a different night because Sunday nights was always like, we got the station where you could watch the Disney night family movies.
Yeah, ABC.
ABC. And that's why. Chris says we used to watch Scooby-Doo on Cartoon Network on Saturday mornings, and then the WB, now known as the CW, we would watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. Chris, and that means that you're just way younger than me, sweetie pie.
Good
because
stuff, though.
I didn't have Cartoon Network. I did not have cable or satellite. I was a rabbit ear kind of girl. I think we had an antenna on the roof, and that was it. John says when J.R. Ewing got shot episode, probably still top 10 all time, maybe top 5. Kind of like the marriage thing for the daytime
Luke
stuff.
and Laura General Hospital. It's the number 1 rated thing ever on television. Luke and Laura's wedding. It was like 1979 or something. Like 50 million. There was 100 million people in the country. 50 million watched that shit. That's fucking
I know, it's crazy. And you know what's even funnier about it is that my mom was home all day. She didn't watch that stuff.
She didn't watch the wedding?
My mom didn't watch TV during the day. She did all kinds of other stuff. My mom never watched TV. Like, if you could get that woman to sit down and watch TV, it was because it was shows she wanted to watch. That was it. Like, other than that, she was doing stuff or reading or, yeah. Robbie's like, Dynasty in Dallas. My mom liked that show. And John's like, Wednesday, I think. It might have been Wednesdays. Robbie says Cartoon Network was a bad boy back in the day. Chris like, Young and the Restless. John's like, yep, it's true. MASH finale also. Yeah, that was a big show that people watched, MASH. You won the match. Look at him back there. He's like, what the fuck? You won that match for Imperium. He's like, you did nothing. He's like, what the
You did nothing.
They're going to have a breakout.
Oh.
Oh, it's Jinder. And his dudes. Your next move wisely.
There's some big dudes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Sorry, coach, let you down again.
Robbie's like, who shot JR was a big deal back in the day. I guess. John's like, damn, Sue Ellen shot JR. Chris says, like Kaiser and Vinci. And John says, I was asking about Shaw here. Ooh, I don't know. Kofi out there getting some catering food.
Yeah, almost.
Girl math. Chris says Diamond Mine Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
So it first started on Saturday nights, and then it moved to Sunday night, and then halfway through the first season, it moved to Friday where it's stuck.
Dynasty?
Mm-hmm. Dallas. I don't know about Dynasty.
Oh. I thought it was on the same nights. Or one of them. I just know that it was on a night that we just, it was still, we went to bed and that was it. Grand Rapids. Nobody wants to go to Grand Rapids. John's like, what in the Sam hell? Robbie says, D, did you think TV back in the 90s got away with a lot more compared to today? Do I think they got away with more? No. I think they did what they should have done, and they should have continued down that road. But now what they've done is they put so many stupid fuck-ass restrictions on things, making everything PC and garbage and woke and shit, that you can't have anything on TV that's actually any good. it takes away all of the ability to have anything that is remotely inventive. So, no, I think TV back then was great.
Dynasty was on Wednesdays. It was canceled after 9 years.
Yeah. It's a pretty long run, 9 years. I don't know how long Dallas was. I guess this is the main event time. Either that or I got something else after it. But I'm guessing this is main event. It's 8:30 basically. So it's the tag team championship match.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against the Judgment Day people. Robbie says it's the same in the UK. Don't want to upset the Karens. I remember Knots Landing. I have heard of that show. Never seen it. Couldn't even tell you what it's about, but I have heard of the show. Oh, he had a whole sign that said, Cody, can I have your belt?
Did he give it to him?
Yeah, he did. That's fun. Chris says, yep, you can't have a guy talk to a girl anymore. Like, even in WWE, you didn't see that anymore. Like when Brock and Jericho make fun of Stephanie's boobs. John says, Knots was a Dallas spinoff. Was my mom's show. Nice.
Whoa.
Uso guy. Yeah, that's the reason. But I was like, you ever like Taxi? That show was funny. Never watched it. Once again, heard of it, never watched it. Wasn't that the one with, is Taxi the one with the series that had Robert De Niro in it? Or is that different?
I think that was a movie called Taxi he was in, but it
Okay.
had, what's his name in it?
Danny DeVito? No.
Yeah, I think he was in it.
Was he was in the TV one.
I think so. It also had, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where Fonzie came from. But the guy that was famous is the Rob Reiner, or whatever his name is. He's a director. He had the red hair. Or whatever.
Oh, John says Andy Kaufman.
Was Andy in there?
No. Robbie says, D, were you too busy out playing? I didn't watch a lot of TV, Robbie, when I was a kid.
I think he was Opie.
Oh, yeah. God, what the fuck is his name?
He's like a top director.
He's like his like family is famous. He has a famous brother too. He was the dude in the Fonz. He was the son in that show.
Taxi?
No.
Oh, no, in that. Oh.
In the one with the Fonz.
Yeah, I don't
He
even
was the
know that.
kid in that.
Yeah,
He was the son.
Yeah, I don't know what that show's called either. It's like my Uncle Larry's favorite show of all time.
The spinoff of that one is Joni Loves Chachi.
Really?
Happy Days. Yes, Robbie. Thank you.
Happy Days.
John says, no, not Ron Howard. That was Happy Days. Yeah, Ron Howard is the name of the guy. Yeah, I don't know a lot of Taxi. Andy Kaufman. Yeah, I couldn't picture him in my head even if I wanted to. What the fuck? Weirdos.
Yep, Dynasty was on ABC, and so was the Disney stuff.
Yeah. And I think it like changed sometime during our life, like that channel, like changed to NBC and but it moved, to like the different channel or something. I thought, but maybe not. But maybe it's always been 3, 6, and 8.
It always has been 3. It was 3, 5, and 8, but yeah, 6.
Ours was 6.
Well, it's 5 on cable, and it's 6 on air.
Yeah.
But it is, they call it KPVI Channel 6. Even though it's on Channel 5, on cable.
Yeah.
On satellite, it's 6 because it goes by air.
John says, watch Man in the Moon with Jim Carrey. Great movie.
You haven't seen that one. And that Dallas was on CBS.
Yeah, we didn't get Channel 3. They didn't have a very strong signal.
I don't even know where that one is. Probably Idaho Falls.
Maybe, I don't know. John
And
saabout
ours
Andy
is right in
Kaufman.
the center of town, right there by the, where the police station is. You know where you work?
Yeah, it's just
like
right there.
3 blocks
Yeah,
over,
that's
yeah.
6.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure 8 was just over here at that of the corner over here. I'm pretty sure that was 8.
It could have been. It's in Idaho Falls now, too, I believe.
But
ABC has a very strong signal. Always had.
yeah, because NBC and ABC were both in town. That's why you could get them really well.
Yeah, and then we had freaking 12, I think, was CBS or PBS, and then there was another one right there, like 13, but it was like always just news, like foreign news or something. It was weird.
Yeah. The Judgment Day people finally made it
Judgment
down
Day.
to the ring.
I just downloaded this. That's why it's making all that weird noise.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing all the apps.
Yeah. It's a, whatchamacallit? Wallpaper or
Yeah.
theme or whatever. It's funny that it gave you a ringtone theme with it, too.
Yeah, it was
and notifications
go in
and stuff.
there, I think.
Galaxy themes.
Yeah, and then all I did was go to, I put Christmas, and then I went to the free ones, and it was one of them.
Nice.
It's pretty cool if you're into cool things. And I am. Wellington has 2 days before his ears won't pop up anymore. It's on my countdown timer.
You're funny.
Full Gear's 4 days away.
Just shave them off and see what happens.
His ears?
Yeah. Shave them. Just his ears.
Look at my leg. Kill it.
Ew. Gross.
Kill it.
How did you even get up there? Disgusting.
That was a terrible murder.
Well, I didn't squish it. It's right there, see? It's not nothing. They smell. John's like, who was in the first War Games? I don't know.
The Road Warriors.
There you go.
That's about all I can remember. Although you're talking about War Games and not what it used to be called. I can't remember what it used to be called right offhand, but. Is that what you're talking about? Like, so in NXT is probably Adam Cole.
Robbie's like, Dee, would you watch movies with your parents?
Had to.
Yeah?
Everybody watched movies with their parents.
John says no, NWA.
So back in the 80s. I would assume it was the Road Warriors, maybe Dusty Rhodes, and I don't know. I just remember the cage was so short and it had a roof on it that they would like gorilla press and slam the people into the top of the cage. Now they don't do that, but they make it taller. And then the women had, that one time in NXT, they didn't have a roof. I don't think they have a roof. WWE doesn't do a roof on it anymore. That's why EO could do that trash can fall. Mm-hmm. But AEW still puts a roof on it. That's one where Jericho fell off onto those cardboard boxes, and you could see there were cardboard boxes, so it was kind of like a botch.
Yeah.
It's supposed to have a roof. But it is what it is. You can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't matter. Look at them slapping the shit out of each other. I didn't really realize how little Jay was until I just seen him standing next to Finn. So is it a tornado tag team match?
I don't think so. Let's see. Ravi says, so Survivor Series is moving away from the traditional format.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that at all. I don't think they did last year either. That, which is sad. It would be kind of nice to have that big old, 5-on-5, 6-on-6 match without a cage also. But if they're going to do War Games every year, it's going to have 2 rings, so it would be kind of hard to have that style of a match.
True. John says Road Warriors, Dusty, Nikita versus the Horsemen.
There you go.
Picola says the NWA had the 4 Horsemen with J.J. Dillon versus Dusty. The Road Warriors, Nikita Koloff and Paul Ellering.
Yeah.
And Robbie says, Damien ever going to cash in?
That is so funny. Yeah. That is so funny because I got 3 of them. Mm-hmm. But I forgot about Nikita. He's literally my favorite of all time. And then I heard him, I'd say about 4 years ago, doing an interview. And he's an American from like Alabama or something. And he was always Russian. And I'm like, what the lies!
Oh, lies. My childhood
is ruined.
John's like, yes, Cola. And Pico's like, but I believe the Horseman iteration had Iron, Tully, Flair, and Lex Luger.
Yeah, it would have been Luger at that time.
John says JJ broke his collarbone. And John says, yep, Cola Luger replaced Ole. And Chris says Christmas music on radio now.
And Luger just didn't fit. And everybody kind of knew it. And that's why they ended up replacing him with Barry Windham.
Pico says it was around 87 and the War Games match was all summer long. They had several opportunities to work on their moves.
Good stuff.
John's like, Nikita was going to be in Rocky 4.
Oh, God. Fumble. Terrible fumble.
Didn't know that, John. That's kind of cool.
As the Russian? I mean, he's a pretty big dude. Dolph Lundgren's pretty good, though. I mean, he did a great job.
Chris says
he dies. He dies.
Chris says, I'm still mad because a couple of days ago, someone bought the damn Century Legends radio station. That was my shit, man. Now I can't hear it. 20 years, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
I feel you.
Happens. Things change and not always for the best. Robbie says, Lex Luger, was it the drug abuse steroids that fucked him up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously. I don't know if it was necessarily the steroids, but it was definitely drugs, meth, and everything else.
Pickle says, it was wild. Dusty booking himself and getting the superpowers over.
Yeah. Good stuff back in the day. It kind of sucks having that responsibility, though, because Dusty, if somebody else was in charge, Dusty would have been a umpteen-time world champion, but he was okay not being champion because he was doing more and getting paid more.
Right.
But at the same time, you're just like, isn't your legacy worth more,
Mm-hmm.
Because he was every bit as charismatic, if not more charismatic than Ric Flair. I mean, he was funner to listen. I can't say funner. He was equally as fun to listen to as Rick.
John says, yes, Dolph, Nikita, and Kerry Von Erich was the final 3 seen a Nikita interview on YouTube. Chris says, well, I think Kevin Sullivan was also in charge of booking not just Dusty, Piccolo says, I mean, he loved being the belt chaser. John says, Dusty put himself in each top storyline.
Yeah, but sort of. Like, he never really cashed in. He never really did more than he should have, I guess. Do you remember when he got his eye poked out, or supposedly poked out by the Road Warriors? It was pretty funny. I always thought that was the greatest moment in wrestling when I was a kid.
That's funny.
I hated Dusty Rhodes, by the way, because I loved the Road Warriors so much that they took one of those spikes, because they had those spikes. And they're like digging it in his eye, and there's blood everywhere.
Oh. That's funny. Robbie's like Lex Luger. Now he is in a wheelchair like Joe from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yep. Stuff takes its toll.
Sexy Lexi. Make sure she didn't start playing music or something. They were watching Willow again wrestle.
Yeah, Julia Hart.
Is that Julia? I mean, it looks like Julia, but her
It's
face
Julia
looks
Hart.
different. It's her outfit, so I knew it was her, but... End it, Julia. Smack it. Uh-oh. Looks like Julia might have just lost. No.
Ooh.
She kicked out. She did it.
John says tried to bury Mr. Express, but put himself in a 6-man matches with them.
Yeah, the Midnight Express.
Yeah, I guess. Ravi says, Travis, for you, who was better, Side Justice or Sid Vicious?
Sid Justice or Sid Vicious? I like Sid Vicious better. I mean, it obviously has a better ring to it. Same dude. Dude shouldn't have never jumped off the top rope, I guess. I don't know how you break your leg like that. He had to have something wrong with him. He
Yeah.
just jumped off the top rope and broke his leg. I
You
think he
showed
was
me
wrestling
that
Scott
picture.
Steiner.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God. Like his boot went like,
Yep.
oh my God, that's a pound.
John says, Lord Humongous from Road Warrior movie.
Did you ever watch the interview they did with like him and Arn Anderson about their fight they got into in that hotel? That's nuts. Like, how neither of them did prison time, I have no idea. Like, oh, it was just a fight.
Right?
Was it? Like, he went to go kill Iron Anderson with a pair of scissors. And Iron somehow got the scissors out of his hand and just started stabbing him.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. This is real. In a hotel.
Why would you hate somebody that much?
It's a hell of a party.
John says, was Sid. Ravi says, oh, yeah. I was like, why would he jump off the top rope? And John's like, yes, with scissors, stabbed 14 times. Fuck.
Shit's
That's
nuts.
ridiculous.
And, like, nobody's in jail or prison or anything. It's like, it's fine.
During that time, they're like, you gonna press charges? No. You gonna press charges? No. Okay, go to the hospital, get fixed up. Nobody's gonna talk or say anything. There wasn't fucking cameras and people with cell phones taking fucking social media pictures and
I'm offended.
showing it
I'm
everywhere.
offended by that. I'm so offended right now.
John says Sid was roided up in coke.
Oh, I'm sure. I bet you Iron wasn't sober. It's funny because Tully got suspended for doing cocaine. And he's like, everybody does cocaine. It's like, yeah, but everybody knows when they're going to test. And
Well, that and they don't do it blatantly in front of other
you
people.
fucking still did it when you knew you were going to get tested. That's
Yeah.
just arrogant.
That's
Like,
just stupid, right? Like, hello.
well, they can't get rid of me. Like, you're fired. What? You
Robbie
got rid of me?
Robbie says, so was Sid better in WCW or WWF?
I think he did more in WWF, but I liked him in WCW better because he's like the type of guy that I would draw if I had to make a wrestler. He's that guy. But yeah, I mean him and Mark Callis / The Undertaker, that type of guy in WCW didn't seem to work very well, even though he was great. I just remember watching Mark Callis wrestle.
Oh, missed.
And it freaking... I was like, oh, this guy's
Finny boy got
awesome.
out of the way.
He's big and strong and blah, blah, blah. And then he left, went to WCW or WWE and became this weird dead guy. And I was like, this is stupid. And I was wrong.
You were like, this is... Oh, no, people like this? Oh, shit.
I was like, why are people watching that trash over there on... I mean, Hogan was still there at the time, so it was fine. That guy still watched it. But I always thought it was weird. And then he got more and more tattoos as, like, the years went by. And he got a little bigger and a little stronger. Uh-oh, that might be it. No, Cody kicks out.
Let's see. Pico's like, okay, I'm about to cry. Oh, don't do that. John's like, totally got set up. They put their notice in, dropping the belts.
Yeah.
Robbie says he was Psycho Sid also. Piccolo says, I just realized my whole entire life that wrestling has always had Sting, and he'll be retired next year.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. He could pull a Ric Flair and just pretend it was his last one. They tend to do that a lot, I've noticed.
Yeah, Sting came in. I remember Sting when he showed up, and I was like, oh, this guy's awesome. You know, I loved Sting until he went to that black and white Sting, and then I never really much cared for him again. I don't hate Sting, but he's just never been...
After that, it was just like, meh, he's there.
Uh-huh. I was the blonde surfer guy, Sting, and that because he looked like me. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like, oh, this is... We could
relate more.
When I would go to the picnics, like the AMI picnics and stuff with Carrie, because that's where she worked. It was her house party, whatever they call those, work parties. Mm-hmm. They had face painters and stuff, so I'd do the Sting face paint. And
John says they had a 3-year $750K deal. WCW backed out the deal. Aw. Pico says Taker was tough for me when he retired. John says the Crow Sting gimmick.
Yeah, that's what I was done. I was like, oh, this is stupid. To me. I didn't like him. He always carried a bat, and he would come down on his little cable thing. Plus, you also got to remember, he was a babyface, and I was a Hogan fan, and then Hogan went to the NWO. And so anybody that ever wrestled Hogan, I didn't like. Mm-hmm. And I was very, whatever you would call that. Territorial, I guess. It wasn't definitely not a bandwagon. Very opposite. It was very loyal to a fall.
Let's see. Ravi says Undertaker was 10 years overdue to retire. Overdue to retire.
Yeah, his last match against AJ Styles is kind of weird. You think he could have done it against somebody like Kane or something?
John says Flair retired was rough. Oh, wait, it hasn't happened yet. Whatever, he supposedly had his last match, and I feel gypped. I'm suing his ass. I'm writing him a letter.
I know I was gypped.
Lying bastard. It's my last match. I'm going to go hang out at AEW with my son-in-law.
So on.
So on.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
I must confess.
Pico's like, I was torture racked in line getting into the doors at the Monday Nitro in Pensacola in 97.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Some memories. John's like, fragging ice holes. at commercial break, everybody.
Hobbs won. Because that's what he does. He's a winner. Yeah, it's a commercial. We have no questions. Do you need a Snickers?
No.
I can go get one out of the camper.
Peel says that was the episode where the NWO made fun of the Horsemen trying to recruit Kurt Hennig.
That's funny.
Pickle's like, not my dog spot, not a liver spot, but take my spot. Robbie's like, Bret Hart didn't do well when WCW fell off. And Pickle says Kevin Nash was playing an old beer cooler toting Arn Anderson.
Yeah, the Horsemen were done. They were over in the 90s. Like that end of the Horsemen there, this is dumb. I don't even count them as Horsemen. Like Chris Benoit and fucking Dean Malenko. And I was just like, this is just stupid.
Yeah, at that point,
Speaking
you should
of
have just
names,
retired the Horseman
Those
stuff.
two are other guys that were basically released
Hey,
and went to
no,
WWE
no.
and became something. People still like Chris Benoit, and he killed his family.
Yeah, loser. Killing his family. Pickle's like, I'll send you the promo. Robbie's like, Bret Hart career died in WCW.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it had to do with a big kick that he took from Goldberg. But he was already kind of trashy before that. There again, that's my example of you take a tag team, you break it up, because if he would have came over with Jin the Anvil and they would have been the Hart Foundation, they would have been just as good as the Steiners, just as good as Harlem Heat. They would have been right there in that top tier. But instead, they take a singles wrestler or a tag team wrestler, make him a singles wrestler, and then put him on their roster, and it just didn't work. It did in WWE, but the only reason it worked there is because they didn't have any talent. All their talent went to WCW, and so they had to break up all their tag teams. You broke up the British Bulldogs, you broke up the Hart Foundation, you broke up the Rockers.
Huh.
I don't know if they broke up any more than that, but... And those were your main event guys. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, who was great. I liked him, but he was never a champion. You watching the Finish Line too much?
No. I was just checking. Pickle says, well, see, D, that was 8 years before Benoit went all loony. Oh, that he was supposedly a horseman. It sounds like something that probably should have been retired before he became a part of the wrestling family stuff, though.
It got bad there at that time.
Sounds like it wasn't really worth being a group or whatever. He's like, I just want up here with your wrestling dolls, sir. Rob is like, this main event is toothless like Chris Benoit. Oh. Nope, you're back? Okay. Hi. Thank you for being on my lap.
Tables are turning. Table turned.
Table turning. Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Exactly. Or like if you're a DJ, you're always turning the tables. Or tables turning. Whatever you want to call it.
Jey Uso's going up top. He's going to fly high. Whee! He got him with a frog splash. Poor
It's
Damien.
over.
Oh,
somehow
Damien
Damien
got
kicked
out of
out.
it. How is that possible?
It's without possibility.
Without possible.
Possibilityless.
Not the possibility.
Are you going to watch Barmageddon?
Ew. No.
One of the greatest shows ever.
No.
It's got Nikki Garcia in it.
People's like John brought up Lord Humongous. Hilarious. Yeah, he did bring him up a while ago. Barn burner.
Mm-hmm. I think it's exciting to burn down a barn, and that's why they call it that. But I could be wrong.
Wait, Barrett probably shouldn't talk about burning down people's barns.
Yeah, it's violent. Well, the FTR's still around.
Ooh!
Priest wisely rolls to the outside. Spear from the Uso Penitentiary.
People's like, I was washing dishes. I'll point out that Happy Days had several spinoffs. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I knew it had Joni Loves Chachi. I knew that one. I didn't know that Laverne and Shirley was a spinoff from Happy Days.
Well, that's crazy. I didn't know that either. That's one my mom made me watch all the time when I was a kid, too.
Because I've never really watched those.
I remember the song and the video for the song. Like what was going on. Because they
People's
worked
like,
at like a
Mork
canning
and
company.
Mindy. How was Mork and Mindy a spinoff from Happy Days?
Like
That's
every
int-
show's a spinoff. The
That's-
A-Team.
The 8. Oh my god.
BA was on there.
It's weird.
Actually, nothing weird about it. Which is cool.
Yeah. Oh, he flipped himself on top of both of them out there.
Flipping it.
But people say Shirley Finney may have dated Richie or some ish. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never watched him, so I have no
look
idea.
At that. Oh, Claymore! Look
Of
who's
course.
joining the Judgment Day. Jey Uso's still garbage without Roman Reigns on his side.
Oh man.
Still losing.
So the only reason why they won is they got some help from Drew McIntyre coming down and claymoring poor Jey Uso.
It was Claymore country.
I guess.
A Claymore was a sword.
Yes, it was. He
A
sworded him with his
claymore
foot.
was a bomb.
He bombed him with his foot.
Well, it was a landmine.
He landmined him with his foot.
And now it's a foot move. He footed him with his foot. The Claymore.
Not the claymore.
Yes, it was the Claymore.
People's like, he sure don't like the Usos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, so amazingly mean.
Because of the meanness.
Well, Judgment Day kept their tag titles for now.
And it looks like they might have a fifth member.
We'll see if Drew actually joins them for it.
I want to see a Drew Cody run. That'd be good.
Yeah? Because he's just such a bad guy. Rhea's like, hello.
It's like, I'll show you a nipple if you join our group.
Why? He's showing off his nipples. She's
Okay.
like, shake?
Olive Branch. There it is! It's official.
Oh, no. There it is.
Who are they going to get? Is it going to be Randy Orton? Or is it going to be CM Punk? Or is it going to be Andre the Giant?
Do you think that Cody Rhodes will just walk away if it's CM Punk?
No, because it'll be ran different. Where he doesn't have to worry about it. It'll be a Kuna Matata.
Jacob Roberts is like, hi, how are you? Great, we're leaving.
Fantastic.
The last match of the night just happened. It was for the tag titles. The Judgment Day continued to keep those titles thanks to Drew McIntyre coming out and kicking Jey Uso, and Finn then pinned him. Anyways, that's the end of Raw tonight, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you guys have a good start to the rest of your week. We'll see you on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite.
And thanks for watching Wrestling Gab. Bye-bye.